in Ballarat is the 6th place Redan Lions hosting EastPoint, the 7th place side. The old cliche 8-point fixture. The equation is simple today, and EastPoint must try to get the 4 points, level the ledger in terms of the ladder, get equal points with Redan, with, of course, if a loss will result in them being 2 games outside with a bye to come as well, as we move 2/3 into the season and season 2023. Team sheets are in, and there's 5 changes for the home side. Lawson, Fall and Jess make their way back from the Coates Talent League to Redan lineup, as well as Wirtz and Madden. Out goes Craig Cooper Pears back at Footscray, of course. Richards, as well as Lee Bell and Hart make their way out of the lineup from last week. And of course, for EastPoint, the 2 changes, Molan and Charleston come in. Howard, who of course was injured last week early against their loss to Sunbury, and Irvine has been omitted. So there's the changes for both sides this afternoon. It's going to be a cracking contest here at the City Oval. Of course, they've already met once this season. It was at the Eastern Oval back in round 6 action when Redan caused what was one of the upsets of the season thus far. Of course, EastPoint had the wood over them in recent times, an average winning margin close to 10 goals. Redan came out with a mission, had plenty of troops out that afternoon. There was the likes of no George, the likes of no Hoy, the likes of no Barker. And they were able to get the upset 4-point victory and 14-point victory. And ever since then, they haven't looked back, whilst EastPoint's been on the decline. And there, I guess, question marks been coming around Jackson's Berry Men. Are they good enough to be part of finals action in season 2023 since? That afternoon, well, it was no secret. Isaac Grant was the superstar. He kicked 4 from the midfield. Last week, had a bag of 10 against the strugglers at Melton South. 12 behinds as well, if you don't mind. So he'll be a handful to watch this afternoon. Liam Farnsworth really broke out last time these two sides met across halfback. Some interesting players, umpires are all in position here to get the opening term underway here at the City Oval. Round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. It is Redan, the 6th place side of the competition, hosting the 7th place EastPoint. A big game in terms of implications for the finals for season 2023. And we're ready to go here at the City Oval. Van Mill up against Dunstan. Dunstan got his hands on this one first and went back to Van Mill, just slapped it forward more in hope than anything. Off the deck goes Dodd. He goes inside 50. Out to meet this one was Lamb. Trying to keep in front of himself, couldn't. The creative Canny couldn't get boots the ball. Clearing kick from Atchison goes out to the vacant centre wing on the outer side. Bouncing ball, leading the foot race there is Gangley. His right foot kick goes towards half forward in the McDougall direction. At full stretch, couldn't hang on. And the rebound comes from the Lions. Farnsworth with the hand pass. Made it a hot one for his teammate. Wrapped up immediately in the tackle. And we'll get a stoppage on the far side in between half forward and centre wing. Good tackle pressure applied by the Kangas, who will be looking to bounce back after a very disappointing big loss last week to Sunbury. A lot of honest words probably spoken during the week. They need a rebound this week. It's do or die for them. Merritt trying to come in the front contest, couldn't quite do so. Trying to rush us towards the boundary line was the Kangas, and in the end we'll get a ball in about 55 metres from goal. Ball on the far side of the ground, the defensive side of the ground. So Dunstan and Van Mill will continue their ruck battle in the opening minute here. Thrown in fell a bit short. Came off the bootlaces there of the EastPoint ruckman and Van Mill, and unfortunately has gone out in the full. Very unlucky. He probably had a case for the ball to be re-thrown in. So it'll be Farnsworth to repel. Looks to go towards centre wing. Leading man there was Bond, couldn't take the mark. Ball is to Turf. Quick kick out of the contest coming there from EastPoint. We'll go inside 50 to a 3-on-1. Short one up, ball spilled at the back. Lamb's got a problem. Merritt did well to apply pressure, but numbers do prevail. Redan will clear. Hutchinson, measured pass on the outside, was fisted out of trying to claim the mark was the EastPoint player. Sliding in was Tillman, but the umpire said it went over the line. So we'll get a ball in. Far side of the ground, half forward flank region here for EastPoint. Opening couple minutes of the contest, no scores yet here at the City Oval. One down by Van Mill. Merritt with the hand pass. Atchison out of the contest. With the outside of the boot will gain territory. Lawson won the inclusion suite. Gave it off there to Jess. The silky Jess. Quick kick will go down the line. Fisted away there by the defence there of EastPoint. And we'll get a ball in now for the first time on the attacking side for Redan. Matchups across the ground. Lovic paying some close attention to Isaac Grant. Of course, the leading goal kicker, the current Tony Lockett leader in the race for that medal. Quick kick out of the contest goes favourably for McDougall up against the boundary line. And his handball went straight up in the air, went out of play. So a ball in, still in neutral territory, played in between both sides 50s at the moment in only the opening moments of this contest. It's going to be a tight tussle all afternoon in a cold but not really breeze-affected afternoon here at the City Oval. Van Mill fisted forward. Scoring should be applicable at both ends this afternoon. I think Matthews just shins this one towards the boundary line and we'll get a ball in on the half-forward flank. No real clean possession. Ball played all on the far side of the ground from our broadcast position at 150 metres away. Who will blink first? I guess we'll find out in a moment's time on the half-forward line here, attacking into the ground for EastPoint. Ball just going to fall in just inside 50. Van Mill worked his way to the front and won this one down, but going nowhere in the contest. And nice pressure applied there by Kelson and by the Redan Football Club. Grant gets himself involved, locked up immediately. And in the end, another stop is just inside forward 50 for EastPoint. Lovic in there as well. We'll get back underway with Dunstan just trying to clear the territory with a big fist. Gained about 15 metres or so. Lawson was the man who was trying to extract it forward. And no real clean possession for either side here. As I said, play between the two 50s in the opening couple of minutes here at the City Oval. Redan, of course, love the switch and get on this attacking side of the ground if they can. EastPoint happy to make it tight in tassels and back their inside mids, the likes of Johnston and Dodd. But Redan's the one to come away with it. Quick kick will come here from Atchison again. Should come straight back. Marks taken there by EastPoint by Walsh. Plays on, can go backwards to Gangling. That's what he does. Maybe they'll play the roles of reverse and switch it. Ball comes in, ball finds Tillman. He wants to keep coming broadcast side. Kicks in the Canny direction. Couldn't take it with the one miss. But the excitement machine and Liam Canny does get around the whoopie tackler. Left foot kick will go towards half forward. Just inside 50. And it's dribbled out of play. So we'll get a ball in. Inside 50 here for EastPoint. No scores, of course, to start things here at the City Oval. Boundary throwing will fall a bit short, so Rucker went the way to the front. Again, Van Meel did well. Out of that contest there was Taylor, off to McDougall, and for the opening goal of the game, Bryson pops it through. EastPoint draw first blood. Had to say it was coming. Goal to start there through McDougall. Just what the doctor ordered and what Jackson Merritt went hoping for in the coach's box. Handball at the front of the contest was beautiful from Taylor. He's been superb in season 2023. And McDougall, well, hasn't been hitting the scoreboard as much as he would have liked. And to get one early would be nice for his confidence, playing pretty much as a traditional centre-half forward this afternoon already. He's one goal, makes it one goal straight 6. EastPoint leading Redan, who are yet to really enter their attacking half of the ground, that has to be said. One down by Van Meel. Johnston with the hand pass. Coming off the wing there was Conlon. He couldn't quite gather. And in there was the first gamer and fall going nowhere. We'll get a ball up. In between the middle of the ground and true centre-half forward. Good started by the Kangas. Again, Van Meel being superb in the ruck to start things here. Redan, what a free kick. Said he dived on it. The umpire agrees with him. Holding the ball. Free kick will go the way of the Lions. They can get some of their first real clean possessions of the afternoon. Farnsworth, that man. Left foot kick, looking for the lead there of Lawson. Just too tall for him. Spills at the back of the contest. He goes back again. Does Harry Lawson. Spills out. Lovic in there for EastPoint. Dual premiership player, of course, and he might want a free kick for in the back. Umpire agrees with me. And the Kangas can control from half-back with a short pass. It's a nice one. Mark's taken there by Whittaker, working a long way up the ground. As Johnston on the broadcast side excites to go towards the outer side. Set a task for his teammate in Conlon. He couldn't quite mark, but got the hand pass forward. McDougall, the early goal kick, goes over the top to Molan. Sharp hands was looking for Lovic, running past, couldn't quite gather. Farnsworth gets involved, goes out the back looking for fall for his first possession, couldn't quite gather. And now EastPoint go inside 50. Johnson's got the set, dropped the mark he normally would take 9 times out of 10. Spills to the turf, and looks like the Lions will survive as they head towards the boundary line on the outer side. Umpire on the spot will see this and say, I'll throw it in. But coasting in unopposed was Geordie Johnston. We know he's got great mitts. Took an absolute beautiful mark last week in the loss against Sunbury. A big specky. That one was academic and put it down. Back on the way, though, inside forward 50. Early suggesting that left to screen is the scoring end to start here. Quick kick out of the contest from Johnston will go across the face of goal. Sets a task there for Jeffries to try to keep it inside the left forward pocket. In the end, the boundary line was always going to win out. We'll get a ball in, deep inside forward 50. We've played 8.5 minutes in the opening term here at the City Oval. Again, throwing falls in short. Atchison's kick smothered. George unable to gather. Broadbent, the match winner from last time, got off there to Fitzgibbons. Left foot kicks down the line. Walsh in best position should mark this, and he gobbled it up nicely on his chest. Did the vice captain. He goes towards centre forward with the kick. Molan, second attempt, was able to hold on. Plays on, drills it to the hot spot. Looking for the big fly over the top. Brought to ground there by Redan and by Atchison. McDougall tried to step around the whoopie tackle, was caught, was spun and was gone. Holding the ball, and Redan come out broadcast side. Lawson takes the advantage. It's a nice pass in the words direction, should mark and does. Fitzgibbons is the overlap runner. Assesses his options, pulls the kick inboard. It's a clever pass, finds Lawson. And the number 10 marks, attacking side centre wing on the broadcast side. Stops and props, heads towards half forward, kicks a poor one. Was looking for the leading man at half forward, couldn't quite get to him. And we'll get a ball in on the half forward flank. Still yet to enter inside forward 50. The Lions might get an opportunity here at the 55-metre mark. George doing the ruck work. Van Meel beat him to the front of the contest. And he's seen over the line there by Lawson, who's been the pick of the Lions half-forward start things here. Of course, been playing with the Rebels in the Coach Talent League the last few weeks. He's a wonderful teenager. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him at this level much longer. One for the future, no doubt. Across Victoria. Phillips, inside 50. Try to shove it out in the Grant direction. Johnston just picked it up, dumps it out of the fence, comes towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Good fist over top there from Hart. And gets his own footy back. That's hard. Then saw the foot candy. That was superb. And we'll send it inside 50 to the hot spot. Over top was McLean. Couldn't take the mark. Grant was waiting down. EastPoint desperate to hold it up inside the fence. Appeals for holding the ball going against it. And we'll get a ball up, 20 out from goal. McLean just couldn't hang on. EastPoint play down from the contest, and Tillman just a bit slow to get back to his feet. One down by Redan. Quick snap by Phillips. Right foot around the body, straight up in the air. Still falls in the field of play, and it's fisted over the line there by Fall. And in the end, we'll get a ball thrown in, 25 out from goal. Deep inside, forward 50 for Redan. EastPoint, of course, the only scores thus far. 1 goal straight leads them. One down there. Grant tucked up against the boundary line. Goes with the outside of the boot. Was always going to be near side there. One behind for him. The first behind of the afternoon goes to Isaac Grant. Their one behind trails, of course, EastPoint 1 goal straight, 6. Kicked 10 goals, 12 last week. And the best on ground performance did Grant. Short ball out defence will find Johnston. The captain of EastPoint has it. Has Hacker the required 15, but wants to go back to Lovic. And he'll mark, and they want to continue to switch towards the outer side. So happy to possess here are the Kangas. They come out of defence towards the outer side. Kick's going to be good in the Jeffrey direction. Holding his ground. Nice marks taken there by Redan. Giampaolo will go inside 50, looking for Grant in the lead. He'll take the mark. 48 metres from goal. On the run, no problems with the distance. Will test him from the set shot. And the man who's leading the goal kicking in the competition has it. Has one blemish to his name early, although from the impossible action. Looks to pass this one off. McLean got separation. He marks 30 metres out from goal. We have a Cardinals sending defence there from EastPoint. Because Grant was always going to be right on his limit from just outside 50, and he's been able to find McLean on a 45-degree angle about 30 metres out, and he's a beautiful kick of the football. Low possession player, but generally does this part of the game very well. Puts it between the big sticks, comes in off a few steps, and splits the middle, no problem. And for the first time this afternoon, the home side take the lead here. It's 1-1-7. They lead EastPoint to 1 goal straight 6 here, midway through the opening term. Thirteen and a half minutes played in the opening term. 1 point the margin. We knew it was going to be tight tussles this afternoon. Goals to McDougall at one end, McLean now at the other. For the home side, they lead by 1 point. Quick kick coming there from EastPoint. Will go inside 50. At the back it goes. Opportunity maybe here for Whitaker. In a foot race, goes off the deck towards full foot. For the instant reply, hand pass goes back towards McDougall. Spun away there by Atchison, who did well to hang on. Conlon gets quick boots the ball. Redan forced the rusher through. Farnsworth taking safety first. Scores a level here at the City Oval. Short will be the designated kicker, as per always. We'll look to go long to the far side, traditionally. Decides to go short where Farnsworth was by himself. The half volley made it a bit tougher for the young man, but he spun out of the way nicely and went down the line looking for Bond. And he couldn't hang on the marking contest, spilled off his hands in front of the EastPoint coach's box. We'll get the ball in just to the defensive side of centre wing for the home sides. 1-1-7 apiece here at the City Oval midway through the opening term. back underway with Dunstan and Van Meel neutrally down to the front of the contest. Off the deck went George, gained some territory more than anything, and just moved it more to traditionally to centre wing. It's virtually opposite from our broadcast position on the far side of the ground, about 150 metres away from this one. Been a bit of a scrap. It's cold. There was a little bit of rain this morning, but hasn't been too much since mid-afternoon. As off the deck, EastPoint get it forward of centre. And off hands will be locked up by the Redan defence. Tackling coming there from Matthews. Back underway here. One down by Dunstan. Quick hand pass to the back, finds a target out the outside of the boot. It might still favour Redan, and the high tackle will certainly favour them. The little man Jess getting down and collecting the free kick. The number 60 looks to come towards the broadcast side. Nice pass, finds short. He can continue on here down the line. That's where he goes in the Wirtz direction. Didn't take his eyes off it. Taylor's coming back hard at him. Phillips moves around to his natural left side. Nice pass. Hits the target. Mark's taken there by Boyer. He also had 12 shots on goal last week. Kicked 5. From just outside 50, unloads a raking left foot kick. That's right to the heart of the goal. Was a touch on the line. It's put through anyway. Lawson's going to claim the goal. And it's 6 points the way of Redan. Doesn't matter if it wasn't over the line. The ball stayed in. Goal to Lawson, goal to Redan. And they take back the lead here at the City Oval. We'll give the goal to Lawson. Touch on the line there was from the raking kick of Boyer. Didn't get over, and that's the bit of a cardinal sin inside the fence. If you're going to get to the line, you've got to get it through. You keep it in. There's always a chance for the opposition. Redan, I mean, I'll take the goal and take the lead back here. Bond comes out towards the broadcast side of the hands with Matthews just waiting for him. He goes inside 50. It's going to be paid downfield. Bit of undisciplined play. Grant will take the advantage. Took on Gangley, and Gangley said, I gotcha. Got the handball away just in time. Lawson couldn't quite pick this one up. Boyer looked for Carlson, who wasn't ready for it. Tillman, the man who gave away the downfield free kick, will lock things up here on their half-back line. It was a bit of a highlight of the game last week for EastPoint. A couple of ill-disciplined plays, a few 50-metre penalties at crucial times, gave away goals. Nearly had that same situation here. Outside of it was Hucker on his non-preferreds, kicked that one out in the full. We'll wait for the ball to come back. And an opportunity for Redan to unload, who hadn't had as many entries, but definitely looked more threatening inside forward 50, it has to be said. With the hands here of Bond. Has Matthews present, but wants to go a bit more direct, I reckon. Goes to the lead of Wirtz, well read up by Merritt coming across to create the contest. Hucker on knees, got it away, and EastPoint go down the line. Whitaker out position. Short got a hand in there. Lamb, the loose man, got it to the big man in Dunstan. Now to Short, wrong-footed, got it back to Dunstan. They actually worked that out okay, then went for Farnsworth. Shakes around to his left side, thumps it towards the full forward position. McLean, the natural target, got pushed underneath it there by Lovic, and EastPoint will come out the other side. So well played by in defence. Conlon will be with it. He goes long down the line. At full stretch, marks taken there by Jeffries. Is off the footy. The umpire's picked out a free kick there. And again, it's some undisciplined play from EastPoint. It's going to result in a free kick and shot coming up for Redan. I reckon he might be having a bit more of a conversation. I reckon he might have shown him a yellow card here, Mitch Walsh. And he's off the field for 15 minutes. So they'll be looked at during the week, no doubt. We'll follow the action, of course. He'll be brought to the goal line. So a shot on goals coming up for, well, a certain goals coming up for Redan now. Again, undisciplined play is going to cost EastPoint. Coming in's Fall. Puts through his first goal in senior footy. They come from everywhere. And a bit of separation on the scoreboard for the Redan Football Club. They move to 3-1-19. EastPoint 1-1-7 trail here at the City Oval. Didn't quite catch that one on my peripheral, but some undisciplined play off the back of the contest. EastPoint had the footy in hand. They were coming away with it on the other side with the mark through Jeffries. Walsh has given away a free kick. Has been sent off from the looks of things and brought to the goal line and goal for Fall's first one in senior footy. George out of the midfield. Goes out with a hand pass looking for a target. Off there to Matthews. He goes inside 50 again. Mark taken by Fall. Is that a bright start? One goal, of course. And now can line up from where he was shooting from before the 50-metre penalty. Right on 50, 45-degree angle. Redan trying to go bang, 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 as to be said. After East Point kicked the first. Redan slammed home 3. And Jonty Fall from 50. Gets his kick right on this. He's a thumping kick. That's gone well over the fence, but to gain the distance, he's lost some accuracy as it's a minor score. 3-2-20 leads 1-1-7 here at the City Oval. So Lovic will bring it in. East Point just want to play some tempo footy, has to be said. Although he wants to go down the middle because Jeffrey's got no one on him. That's where he goes. Nice mark. Maybe a fast response. There's Harker breaking from the broadcast side to go end to end. He will mark. He's got no one in front of him. Waits for the leader. McDougall slides in on knees and takes a mark. Great transition footy. That's the East Point way. And he'll line up for his second. We're right behind the kick, about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Bryson McDougall to shoot for goal number 2. Shaping up that he might go around the body. So McDougall, for his second of the afternoon, that's a bit of a strike, that's bending back, and the response is there through Bryson McDougall. His second of the afternoon, another beautiful snap from him, and East Point get the response. Time on in the opening term, about 21 and a half minutes gone. It's 2-1-13 trail and 3-2-20 here at the City Oval. Of course, no electronic scoreboard here this afternoon. Been power issues all afternoon here. But doesn't mean it's not a fast contest on the ground. One down by Hart in the ruck. Bond left it behind. George spins around to his natural side. Nice pass. Should find Fitzgibbons. It was a beautiful kick. Showed his class. Has Grant breaking for him. Ignores him initially. Now goes just a 15-metre chiseled metre pass to Isaac Grant. We'll go inside 50, looking for the leader, McLean. Good fist over the top there by the East Point defence. Calson coming through. Brought to ground. Just got the handle away in time. Atchison at half forward. Couldn't quite find it. Johnston bumped off it. Putting his head down, trying to go through, was the youngster again in Fall. Maybe some appeals that he ducked the head, but free kick will go the way of Jonty Fall. Measured pass into the pocket. Grant from the side couldn't mark. He really got spoiled by his teammate in the end, and Merritt walks over the line. We'll get a ball in. Inside 50. There's plenty of feeling in the contest this afternoon. All to play for. It's 6 versus 7 in the 7th in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Must win for the East Point Football Club, it has to be said. They trail at the moment. Back underway. One down by Van Meel. And there'll be a stoppage inside forward 50. About 45 metres from goal. Dodd trying to come off the bottom of that pack. Hart having a run around in the ruck. One down by Van Meel. Hucker. Off there to Taylor. Rare fumble. And then he's got confronted by 2. Just got it away in time. Umpire gave him an eternity. Charleston brought the ground there by Bond. Went between the legs there of Van Meel. Off the deck went Canny. Farnsworth met it with full ferocity. Somehow got it out with a hand pass. Gunstead was dumped in the tackle. Molan, clever hand pass. Again, a slight fumble from Taylor. Gets the dribbling kick down the line. Does gain territory. Scrappy stuff here on the broadcast centre wing. But we'll get a ball in. Round 12 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League here live at the City Oval. Redan with the early ascendancy here as we approach the first quarter time siren. Boundary throw will fall short. Van Meel wins it down unopposed. Slapped it back there by Hucker. Was looking for Charleston. Diving in was Hart. Ball spills out to Hucker. Got it off there to Van Meel. Right foot snap will gain territory down the line. Big fist by Canny. Waiting at the back there was McDougall. Over the shoulder. Here goes Cleverly. Got it off to Mullen. Lowers his eyes. Goes towards full forward. Jeffries slipped over, but it got at the back to Jeffries. Right foot snap. And another goal, East Point. The veteran in Jared Giappolo, the ex-coach, let one get through his grasp and open the door for Jeffries, and he obliged accordingly. Kicks the goal, and East Point get their third one of the afternoon. One-point ball game here at the City Oval. 3-2, 20 leads, 3-1, 19. As we approach quarter time. Been a fascinating contest to start things here. Hot footy to be won. Plenty of feeling in there. Off the deck goes George. Looks to get it back. Left it behind. Taylor dived in. Left it as well for George just a handball for the Charleston. He coughed it up. Clever knock on by Gunser. Q gave it to Dodd. Measured left foot pass is a good one. Should be marked and is. Hucker plays on. Passes, good one. Should find the chest to Taylor. Draws the man and gives, in the end, gives it back to Hucker, who's had a bright start. Drills it inside 50. They might be able to pinch the lead. They can take a mark in there. Sits up for his intended target. Was Robinson trying to get away. Stiff arm left it to the turf. And Broadbent will come out the other side. Nice kick, should find McLean. Redan trying to slingshot. Was infringed, so it'll be a free kick the way of McLean. On true centre wing, out of side. George slides across and marks on his chest. 60 from goal. Goes deep into the pocket. Bond bounced his bootlaces and just wasn't perfect. In the end, we'll get a ball in deep inside the left forward pocket. 1 point the margin here. Favour of the home side. They're deep inside forward 50 in their left forward pocket region. Back on the way, Van Meel wins it down. Knocks it to a dangerous area. Might open the door for McLean. Maybe over the shoulder for a free kick. No, not going the way of Fall. Who's already gifted his first goal in senior footy earlier, the debutant. In a 50-metre penalty, brought him to the line. But a minor score here. Lovic will go short and find Dodd, just a required 15. He chips it over the top. Johnston. This is, of course, of the Geordie variety. Was quiet last week. 1 goal, 19 possessions. Hasn't featured much early here either. As they persist to play him inside in the midfield in season 2023. Hucker had plenty of it. Down the line. Jess, double fister. Sees it out of play. We'll get a ball in. Only slight in stature. But a beautifully smooth mover on that far wing. We'll see Kai Jess move all afternoon. You can see why he's, of course, in the Talent League for the Rebels. Umpires picked their free kick for a hold. It's going to go the way of Van Meel in the ruck. So Joel Van Meel dumps one towards half forward. McDougall's been a good target to start with. Couldn't grasp this one. Taylor coming through. Just knocked it to his own advantage. Tried to go off the deck. Was he held without it? Umpire says yes. Free kick will go the way of East Point. Can they take the lead as we approach quarter time? Nice kick in the Whittaker direction. Was fisted away by Jess. Ball in dispute. Tackle there on Dodd by Phillips. We'll hold it up. So Dunstan in the ruck against Van Meel. Did he get out the shoulder? Umpire waves play on. Hand pass by Johnston just to the hot spot more than anything. Hoping for someone to come through. Got off to Whittaker. Right foot snap. And East Point take the lead here. Goal to Brad Whittaker. And the Kangas are on the march here as we approach quarter time. Whitaker, the assistant coach, puts his side in front with EastPoint's fourth goal in the opening term. One down by Dunstan. Johnston building into this. Off to Gangley. Had to sit and wait though. Grant got him. Matt Johnston gets it away. Kick down the line's not a good one. Should be cut off by Atkinson. As that push and shove off the footy continues. Measured pass finds Kai Jess. Can Redan respond as we approach quarter time? Spearing ball will just fall to half forward. Hot hands to a teammate for Redan. High contact will result in a free kick. Advantage is taken. Lawson goes to full foot. McLean on the lead. Marks. And Lockie McLean will shoot from about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle, if you don't mind. Kicked one earlier from this exact spot. Came back from injury last week, kicked a couple against Melton South. Already has one this afternoon, as I've mentioned. Only averages 11.5 disposals a game, but always seems to hit the scoreboard. Plays his role perfectly. This one is no exception. Pots through his second of the afternoon, and Redan take back the lead in this topsy-turvy opening term here at the City Oval. End-to-end stuff sort of thing here in this great clash between, of course, 6v7. Redan lead here. 4 goals, 3-27 to EastPoint 4-1-25. Fist to 4 there by Van Meel. 2-on-1 contest will favour Redan. Farnsworth's got the handball away. Johnston comes away with the off there to Charleston. On his non-preferred side, steadies on his right foot. Sends it inside 50. Way down was Dodd. Trying to shovel it in the hand pass. Robinson did well to make a contest. Ball in dispute, spills out to Canny. The creative Canny lines up and puts EastPoint back in front. He needs a sniff and puts his side in front. Liam Canny kicked 5 wonderful goals last time these two sides met, and that one was no different. Another goal at EastPoint. It's goal for goal here at the City Oval. It's an old-fashioned shootout here for round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Neither side really able to string back-to-backs. It's goal for goal. And EastPoint, after losing the lead, gained the lead once again. Johnston, maybe held by Bond, up by Waves play on. Dodd just handballed it in space and more in hope than anything. Short, got a hand in there for Fitzgibbons. Underground hand pass was clever. Gains territory for Daniel Bond. Off to the impressive Lawson. Hot hands for Word, slipped through his grasp. And he's unable to keep it in as he's seen over the line there by the vice-captain in Lovic. Been a long opening term, 33 minutes, if you don't mind. 9 goals, of course. Can't be too much longer, you would think, though. As we're back on the way, still plenty of push and shove off the footy. Johnston involved. Him and Phillips going right at it. Umpires go pick out a free kick one way. Now the other Johnston's involved as well. Spot fires everywhere here. Plenty of action to watch. Free kick's going to be picked out. I think it's going to go the way of Redan, but they come from everywhere. The Johnston boys got a bit of B in their bonnets. They know their season's on the line. Lawson wants to keep the game going towards Grant. Fisted away by EastPoint. We'll get a ball in and a bit more push and shove in the contest. It was a good one-on win by Joey Dodd. Outsized in the marking contest, got it out of play. We're back underway. Van Meel wins it down. We'll keep with the action. Hand pass off there to Charleston. Right foot kicks around the body. Numbers favour Redan, but backing back. Oh, spectacularly. Mark of the day, Geordie Johnston takes it on his chest. That had Jarrett Giampaolo's name all over it, and Geordie said, no, that's mine, old fella, and dumps it along down the line. Big fly top there by Lamb. Couldn't take the mark. Taylor trying to keep it in with the left-handed hand pass. Ricocheted off the chest there of Atkinson, and we'll get a ball in. Been a cracking opening term. We expected nothing better between these two sides. They had an enthralling contest back in round 6 in this competition. And everything's shaping up for another beauty this afternoon at the City Oval. Boundary thrown will falling short. Dunstan got the slap down to Johnston. He was taken and turfed by Fitzgibbons and he didn't have it. So Geordie Johnston be able to unload one more ball inside 50, you'd have to say. Tries a barrel. Got a bit of it. There's not going to be enough time as it is quarter time here at the City Oval. There's been plenty of feeling in this one, all surrounding the Johnston boys. A lot of chat, a lot of yap, and a lot of goals to go through. But it's quarter time. EastPoint lead 5-1, 31 to Redan. Four goals, 3-27. We'll take a break and be back to unwrap what was a cracking opening term here. Round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League.
Push buttons to park magically. The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
Welcome back to the City Oval for round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Quarter time sees EastPoint 5-1-31. The visitors leading the home side 4-3-27. A couple of goals to Bryson McDougall leads the way for the visitors with Canny, Whitaker and Jeffries on the score sheet. Whilst for Redan, it's two McLean, singles to Lawson and the debutant Jonty Full. So EastPoint kicked the first. Redan slammed home 3 goals. Looked like they were going to run away with things. EastPoint responded, became a real shootout to close that term. Took back the lead late. So the crafty Liam Canny, his 17th goal of the season, was one of the highlights, and no doubt will feature during the week, of course, on all the socials here in the Ballarat Football Netball League. As we're just waiting for a big crowd that's come thick and fast to watch these two Ballarat sides play. It's a bitterly cold afternoon, but no real winds assisting either on the ground, which has made it very free-flowing and open scoring at either end, so makes for a cracking contest for all afternoon. Of course, these two sides very evenly matched, both young, with a sprinkle bit of experience there. It's the away side, EastPoint lead by 4 points as we start the second term here with Van Meel winning it down. Bond trying to get through, was given a long time. Umpire waves play on, said he must have had no prior opportunity as Johnston dribbles it inside, forward 50. Bouncing ball will get to Farnsworth. Spun out tackle, hot one to Grant. Umpire in best position says not in the back, and we'll get a ball up at pretty much true centre half forward. All to play for, of course, EastPoint. Must-win contest for them. Sitting in 7th place, 4 points outside the 6. Dunstan wins it down. Merritt hasn't had a heap of it. Missed this one, did the coach. He'll be fine, though. He'll be happy not to touch it if his side wins. They currently lead by, of course, 4 points. As Dunstan wins it down to George. Step through traffic. Out the back to Atchison, who couldn't quite gather. Tough footy be one inside 50 at the front now to Merritt. He does get a clean touch towards full forward. Off hands will be seen through for a minor score. Just the second blemish of the afternoon for the Kangas. Short wants to go quickly. We has Lamb breaking for him, but the kick wasn't a good one. Backing back, marks taken there by Jeffries. Wants to go short, just a required 15 if you don't mind. We'll find the chest of his assistant coach and Brad Whitaker will line up on a bit more of a less acute angle and closer to goal, of course, about 40 metres out. Had a tough afternoon last week against Sunbury. Didn't have a lot of service to the veteran. Got 1 goal already against this young Lions defence. And a second one here will get a bit of separation on the scoreboard that EastPoint maybe deservingly should have. Comes in with a kick, leans back, and just sways away to the near side for a minor score. 5-3-33 now leads 4-3-27. An even 1 goal game. In the opening couple minutes of the second term, favouring the away side. As he will all afternoon, Short will kick in. Of course, when these two sides met last time, some inaccurate kicking on the scoreboard did cost EastPoint. Johnston takes the intercept mark. Started slowly, but has built in this game beautifully. Not really beyond him. Decides to pull the kick towards the hot spot. McDougall got it. Juggling marks taken. And it was the right option by Johnston to go quickly. McDougall's kicked a couple, will line up for his third and will make it a 12-point ball game. He's already snapped two goals, and for the third time today should do that from about 20 metres out. Plays on, snaps, and goals. 12 points the margin. Will go the way of EastPoint, and as he did in the opening term, Bryson McDougall kick-starts the quarter for EastPoint with his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Only had the 9 goals to his name in season 2023. Going into this one, did McDougall. Been playing a bit more time in the midfield, averaging 23 disposals a game. Pretty much a traditional centre-half forward this afternoon to kickstart things, and they just seem to be a bit more straightened up than compared to last week with that, having McDougall at centre-half forward, Whitaker at full forward. And it's quite simply, they're just getting their hands on the footy out of the midfield with that combo of the Johnston brothers and Dodd. Grant's coming through is going nowhere, so we'll get a secondary ball up to restart in the middle of the City Oval. 12 points the margin here. 6 goals, 3-39, leads 4-3-27. Kelson left behind. George, quick snap, will go towards centre forward. A bouncing ball. Out the back it goes. Lawson was waiting for it. Lovey got there first. Hand pass will find his way to Tillman. Did he get a bootlace on it? Umpire wave play on regardless. Off the deck went Lovic straight to the boundary line. Be interesting to see the umpire calls this one. He said throw it in, despite maybe some appeals for some insufficient attempt. I think in the AFL, that one these days would have been 100% called, but here in the Ballarat+FNL League, umpires saw it differently. Has been starting to creep in week after week. More and more common, but not on this occasion. Dunstan got his hands on this one first. Came down the contest. Big tackle by the follow-up by Van Meel. And the umpire in the best position, about 25 metres off it, called a free kick. High tackle will go the way of Gunnison. Career best 26 disposals last week in the win over Melton South. Will just fall into the pocket. Boy is the intended target. Slater Mott paid the mark on the second attempt. Couldn't quite get to him. In the end, we'll get another ball in. Deep inside 50. 12 points to margin. East Point deserving their lead, it has to be said, at the moment. Can Redan respond? Back underway. Van Meel wins it down. George was circling, couldn't get to him. Lovic with the hand pass was superb. Out towards Johnston. Spearing pass. Whitaker sliding in. Marks on his chest. Can look laterally and come into the corridor. Has to be good though. He's coughed it up. Matthews marks. They've got plenty of players to send out forward. One of them's Grant. He marks. Just has to lower his eyes. Goes to the lead in the pocket. Fisted away by the East Point defence. Johnston knocks it straight to the boundary line. And the umpire will say throw it in. Precedence has been set there. And we'll get one deep inside 50. Whitaker, great mark. Wanted to go quickly into the corridor. Matthews was the only Redan player in between about 4 East Point players. Got it. Went to centre forward, but Redan couldn't capitalise moving forward. One down by Fall on the ruck. Quick hand pass by the East Point defence. Taylor comes across his defensive 50. Finds Johnston. He'll come out towards the broadcast side. Right foot kicks in the Charleston direction. 1-on-1 contest, be a big one. McDougall's waiting for it at the back. Words has to be good. Took the footy in motion and locks things up between halfback and centre wing. It was a big 1-on-1 contest. It was basically who could get it forward. We had Fitzgibbons waiting for Redan and McDougall waiting for East Point. Umpire's going to wait for the ruckman to get to this one. Dunstan and Van Meel covering a lot of territory this afternoon. Back underway here at the City Oval. Van Meel wins it down. Johnston's spin move was superb. He's looking for his brother and Matt. He was dumped after the tackle. It's going to come back the way of Geordie Johnston. Him and Matt Johnston, plenty of feeling. Phillips infringing this time. So between half forward and centre wing, Johnston loads another one inside forward 50. Looking for Whitaker. The tallest man in the pack couldn't hold the mark. Waiting down was Merrick, couldn't quite gather. George dives in. Might be able to lock things up deep in his defensive 50. Umpire agrees with that and we'll get a ball up. We've played 7 minutes now in the second term. 4 goals, 3:27. Trails 6 goals, 3:39. Merritt trying to keep it in. Tried a little backhander, but the boundary line beat him. We'll get a ball in. Look for the silky Liam Canny to get on the move here. Johnston boys won't be afraid to put his head over the footy and win a free kick either. Dunstan trying to take it over the air. Canny coming through, couldn't quite gather. Dodd was collected high, and the umpire saw it. Free kick coming the way of East Point. Again, head over the footy first is rewarded. Bit slow to get back to his feet will be Joey Dodd, but he'll line up from about 35 on a 45-degree angle. Missed the start of the season through injury. Numbers the last couple of weeks have been superb. Had 39 against Bacchus Marsh and 34 last week in the loss against Sunbury. And to make it a game-high 18-point margin, Joey Dodd will come in from 35. Left foot kicks on its way. Goal umpire does not move an inch. Gets stuck into Dean Matthews. And East Point gets some separation on the scoreboard. As the push and shove continues, it is 7 goals, 3:45. East Point lead, Redan 4-3-27. So they go with the Dodd. Plenty of push and shove continuing. Umpires just trying to get the action back underway. Players going down left, right and centre. But it is 7 goals, 3:45. East Point leading Redan 4-3-27. Back underway with Dunstan winning it down. But it's all Kangas at the minute as Johnston drills this one towards full forward. It's a wonderful kick. Mark is taken by Robinson, and he'll line up for the first time today. You couldn't have wrote it down better. Johnston takes it through the midfield, streams out of the front of the contest, lace out pass. Robinson's got sticky mitts, and more importantly, normally kicks pretty truly. Right behind this kick in the commentary position, comes in and commentator's curse coming into play. Just leaned back on that one and missed it to the near side. A blemish to Robinson and a behind to the East Point Football Club. 7 goals, 4:46, leads 4-3-27. Almost 10 minutes gone in the second term. Been all Kangas since the restart. Short wants to go quickly. Comes out towards the broadcast side. Grant went down, was pushed out of the contest. Umpire saw it. That'll be a free kick to one of the Henderson medalist favourites this season, Isaac Grant. Short pass, good one, finds Lawson. He marks on his chest. Plays on. Thumps a long ball inside 50. Boyer will be the target and just protected a drop zone nicely and marked on his chest. Took front position, knew where the ball was going to land. Slater, we disgusted with his defensive work on that one. He really would have backed himself with a long footy coming in, but Boyer, he just was able to, as I said, project the drop zone and mark cleverly. Thumping kick of the footy. Kicked 5 goals, 7 last week against Melton South and really needs to kick this one for his side to be a bit of a settler. So Marty Boyer, still eligible for the under-19s, of course. Comes in from at 40, left foot kick. Has swayed late to the left-hand side of the goal face and a minor score as a result. East Point play quickly out of fullback through Q. Short one down the middle is a good one. Finds his target. Gangley comes across looking for his target in Hucker. He marks and can continue on to the Whittaker direction. Can link up with Merritt, the coach. Fitzgibbons did well. He's picked his pocket really. Drilled into turf. And we'll get a ball up here on true centre wing on the broadcast side. So we get back underway here on centre wing on the broadcast side. George, been quiet for his standards. Taylor tried to keep this one in with the left-handed hand pass, but couldn't quite do so. 18 points the margin. 4-4-28 on my score sheet reads to 7-4-46. Back on the way on true centre wing. Fist to 4 there by Dunstan. Johnston around the body was slammed towards half forward. Almost a good mark taken there by Geordie Johnston. Jarrett Giampello on hands and knees. Somehow got it to Lamb. Comes out the side to Hart. Kick's got to be good coming out of half back. It's not too bad for Phillips, but he's fumbled at the crucial moment. Might open the door here for East Point. In the end, Johnston forced it to tackle. The umpire says he's jumped on it, so he's going to be holding the ball for dragging it in. Phillips pinned, free kick the way of East Point. Johnston will go inside 50. We're trying to link up, of course, with his brother. The kick's off the line and dribbles out of play, so we'll get a ball in on 50. We've played 13 minutes, 18 points the margin in favour of the visitors. Kicked the only goals of this term the way of McDougall and Dodd. Bryson now with 3. Dunstan knocked it down. Bond uses that bigger frame to get it to the experienced George. Usually uses it well. Dumps this one towards centre wing. Charleston with a big fly on the top, got it to ground. Fraser was daxed, but got the hand pass away to Charleston, who lost all his bearings altogether and couldn't pick it up. Jess coming through, created a contest with Hucker. Hand pass over top back to Charleston to make amends. Got it out the front towards Molan. Now to Taylor. Good smother by Jess. Does the 1%ers so well. Fumbles as they wrap him up, but they'll be happy with that one in the coach's box, I would have thought, through Gary Learmonth. Jess for lining up for the first time to start this season for Redan, the number 60 in the blue helmet. Back on the way. Van Meel worked Dunstan to the front, just hacked it off the deck towards true centre half forward. Canny had to be clean, wasn't. And now Farnsworth turns on the afterburners, go to the guns. Gunnerso's trying to go back to Farnsworth. Has to sit over. Canny didn't give up the chase. Brought him down. Ball spills free. Not out of it yet. Molan steps around one whoopie tackler. Goes back inside. Was looking for a teammate in Q. Hot footy B1. Left foot snap from Farnsworth to make amends. Backing back is Charleston. But well done, Liam Canny. If he's not doing it at one end, he's doing it at the other. That chase has saved a scoring shot, it has to be said, as they come out towards the broadcast side and find Taylor. He marks on true centre wing on the broadcast side. Nice kick inboard, finds Molan. He can go top towards Hucker, breaking for him towards half forward. About 65 from goal. Heads towards the full forward position. Offhand, short, did well on the spoil. Farnsworth waits down, got it off the Bond. He steps around one whoopie tackler. Phillips from Truce and half-back wants to go down the middle. Mark taken there by Jonty Fall. He marks in the middle of the City Oval. Dumps a wobbly one inside forward 50. Big contest B1. One down by East Point. Can they escape out towards the other side? They want to go a bit more central with the kick. Johnson's the intended target, backing back with courage. Just fisted it forward and got it inside forward 50. Bouncing ball to be one. Geordie Johnston with it. Fisted forward by East Point. They're at the front of the contest. 2-on-1. Big contest B1. Well played by Gian Polo. Neutralised the contest against the grain. And Redan will come away with it through Lamb. Comes out towards the other side. Right foot kicks in the Bond direction. Sits up for him, goes over top to the running man in Phillips. Didn't have to break stride. Left foot kicks to a one-on-one contest. Boyer wants it at the back. Foot race on in earnest. Getting back there was East Point though. And Charleston will keep it alive and go inside to Walsh. Back on the ground, of course. Left foot kicks a good one. Down the line should be marked, and it is. Fast footy, hot footy. Frenetic football. As McDougall will go towards half forward with the kick. Jeffries had a good hand today. Couldn't hang on this time. As the ball was knocked out of play and we'll get a ball in. 4-4-28 on my score sheet reads to 7 goals, 446. Of course, no electronic scoreboard here this afternoon to reflect that as we played 16 and a half minutes. One down there by Dunstan. Umpires picked out a free kick for a hold. It's going to come back the way of Redan as East Point were coming away through Molan. Bit slow to get back to his feet, and on his haunches a bit is Gunnisar. Seemed to pull up a little bit lame in the tackling contest. He fixes his boot and adjusts himself and composes. Defensive side, centre wing on the outside. Is now finally told he can go. Looking for McLean, sliding in, could take the mark. Off the deck went the big fella Dunstan. That was clever. Gained territory, and the wobbly kick will go inside 50. Boyer couldn't pick up the half volley. Grant's around this contest, and we know he's dangerous. Boyer gets it back. Left foot snap to the goal face, and the goalkeeper in the line, Sammy Q, gets in there and takes the mark. Comes out towards the broadcast line. Hucker drops one that he would normally take. George just got rid of him. Spins around, lowers his eyes, and overcooks the kick. Missed his target, and Dodd will come away with it. McDougall should be the target. Fisted away by Lamb. Ball on dispute in the middle here of the City Oval. Coming through there was Farnsworth, but Dunstan now gets it. Off to Lawson. Goes to the lead in the pocket. Was looking for McLean and missed him on this occasion. We'll get a ball in deep inside 50 for Redan. 17 and a half minutes played, 18 points the margin. Redan yet to kick a major in this term. A couple at the other end for East Point through McDougall and Dodd thus far in the term. George doing the ruck work as he likes to do inside 50. Tried to take it out of the air, couldn't quite gather on this occasion. Umpire let it roll on for a bit, but then decided he'll throw it up in the air. Midway through the second term. Game still playing on a knife's edge at the minute. Lovic got an unkind bounce. Out the back it goes. East Point will be happy to see this through for a minor score. That's where they head. And they do walk it over the line for a point. I want to go quickly out here towards the broadcast side, towards Tillman. Couldn't mark. Merritt keeps it alive. Hand pass off's a good one. Off to Jake Tillman. Towards centre wing. Almost the mark there to Lamb. Dropped off his chest. Farnsworth got it over there to Kelson. Steadies. Right foot kicks a good one. Broadbent should mark. Trewally tried to do it all too quickly. Had Grant breaking for him in half forward. Just needed to get back over his mark and steady, and basically fell over and as he kicked it out in the full. Johnston now has it laterally from inside defensive 50. Wants to come broadcast side. Lamb best positioned. Should mark this unopposed and does. Been a revelation since he's gone behind the footy, Tom Lamb. He's overcooked that one looking for Lawson. And this fast action continues with Charleston. Now to McDougall. Back to Johnston. Towards half foot. It's a beautiful kick. Marked there by Robinson. Awaits for the cavalry to arrive. Goes inside 50. Words forced to spoil. McDougall waits down. Short pass will find its target, no doubt. Mark's taken inside 50 there by Jeffries, and a shot and goal coming up here for East Point. As we approach time on in the second term. Real end-to-end stuff. East Point getting it done on the scoreboard thus far. Jack Jeffries relying for his second goal of the afternoon here. From about 35 metres out or so. For the third in a row in the term, their fourth in a row in the match. He will shoot for goal number 15 of the season. Kick's good. Pops it through. And East Point do that. They move to 8-4 here at the City Oval and got some separation on the scoreboard. Time on here in the second term. Jeffries kicks his second of the afternoon to become the third mobile goal kicker on the ground. 29 trails 52. Game high. Margin favouring East Point by 23. Van Meel wins it down. Quick kick will dribble inside, forward 50. A bouncing ball for Jeffries. Hands were good towards McDougall. Stepped around one whooping tackler, banged it on the boot. And was it out in the full? Umpire says yes. So Short be able to repel from defence. Just clinging on at the minute, Redan. Their big guns been well held, it has to be said. Grant hasn't been at his brilliant best. George hasn't had as much of the footy as we would have expected. Short dumps a long one towards the outer side. Big fist over the top will send it back inside 50. Waiting down, is that man on cue, Lockie George, but he got a case of the fumbles. Whittaker slides in, makes a contest of it. Ball comes out towards Taylor. Now Molan off to Jeffries for two in a row. Jeffries around the body, kicks his third. East Point on fire here in the second term. 9-4, 58. Leads 4-5, 29. It's been a great response from East Point. They kicked the first in the game. Redan put away 3 in a row. We thought, oh, here we go again. East Point are going to fall on their sword, but they've kicked 8 of the last 9 goals in the game. And 5 in a row, if you don't mind, to get some real separation on the scoreboard. 29 points it is. Farnsworth still being brilliant off half-back. That one is non-preferred finds Fitzgibbons. Redan need to get a couple of settlers as we approach half-time. He goes wide into the pocket in the McLean direction. At full stretch, that's a nice mark. Right on his range. Deepest man to square is Bond. Sits it on his head. Went early. Couldn't hang on. Walsh did well to not infringe. Backing back. We'll get a ball in deep in the left forward pocket. So where's the spark going to come from? Isaac Grant's done it all year. Boy, he did it last week with 5 goals. We've seen Lawson do it at times in season 2023, but who's the next man up? Maybe it's George. Took it out of the ruck, left foot snap. Umpire will pay the mark as it goes across the face. Still in dispute. Fresh area off the deck. Joe Fraser's brought the ground. Big tackle applied there by Kelson, I believe, to lock things up. Opportunity at the full forward position to just maybe make something happen. George again took it out of the air. Hand pass off the Bond. Right foot snap. And against the grain. Redan do get one. It's their captain, Lockie George, who took it out of the air, got the handball off the Bond, and he snaps truly to break the run of 5 back-to-back East Point goals. There was no doubt match of the round in round 12 action. McDonald's Ballarat Football and Netball League here at the City Oval. And be hard to find a better game across the country, it has to be said. These two sides are putting on a show for us at the City Oval. We've played 24 minutes in the second term. It's 5-5-35 to 9 goals, 4-58. For the visitors, 3 goals apiece to McDougall and Jack Jeffries, with singles to Kenny, Dodd and Brad Whitaker. Whilst for Redan, it's a couple of McLean, Lawson, Bond and Jonty Fall are your other goal kickers on the score sheet, as we've just waited for the footy, which has gone over the fence. We'll have to wait for either a new one to come out or a new one to come onto the ground to restart here. Finally, the football does come back and we'll be able to get action back underway here at the City Oval. Of course, a massive game this afternoon with implications for the top 6. Redan currently 6th. EastPoint 7th. A game outside. A real traditional old cliche 8-pointer, where one win for one side changes their entire season's complexion. We're now back underway here. Dunstan won it down. Couple EastPoint players fight for it, and the captain Johnson says, I want it. Left foot kick out towards the outside, and to Hucker, streaming towards 50. Lowers his eyes towards McDougall, has 2 to beat in the air, ball hits the turf, Merritt around his body, hits it to the hot spot. They've got the overlap runner, big fist there by Matthews, brought it to the ground, and Farnsworth will just dump it out of the fence. It'll come straight back, Johnson should mark. Looked quickly, goes towards half foot. Matthews arrived late, but Conlon showed some sticky mitts and held on. Tommy Conlon, averaging 21 disposals a game, between wing and half forward and half back. Real utility at times. Goes into the pocket. Bounced at the bonnet there short. And then got a smother on the follow-up on McDougall. Wasn't really ever his footy. Somehow slipped through and smacked him in the schnoz. Ricocheted to McDougall, who kicked it straight into Jacob Short, who seems unfazed. Half forward flank. Broadcast side, attacking into the ground for EastPoint. 9-4, 58 leads 5-5, 35. Bo Rackman holding. Dodd, left foot snap will go right towards the top of the goal square. 1-on-1 contest be won. Short with the spoil. Diving in was Atchison. Wirtz on hands and knees. Got to be careful. He's also got to make sure he hasn't dragged it in. And Bo said he didn't. And we'll get a ball up at the top of the goal square here, as we played 26.5 minutes in this second term. Back underway. Dunstan unopposed, can take it out of the rack. And the umpire's going to call it back, I believe. So we'll get another ball up at the square. Dunstan took it unopposed. No EastPoint ruckman nominated originally. Now Van Meel will get a crack at it. Read that as you will. And Van Meel wins it down. Over the shoulder goes Merritt. That was crafty. It's offline and out in the full. Had it flow through between the big sticks. It was the goal of the year, no doubt. Grant. Whoop. And this is one of my pet hates in footies. You just see Grant jumping out of the fence. Almost upended. If you're sitting in your car watching the action, just jump out. Don't want to see how good players potentially go over on an ankle or something. And that was Grant, but it's all safe on this occasion. Just one to be wary of. As Phillips goes short. Kick was intended for Gunnister or Lawson. You take your pick. Lawson thought it was touched, so played on immediately to Grant. It might open the door the other way. Kenny goes towards full forward. Mark taken there by Merritt. And the coach, well, he had McDougall breaking for him, but decides to take the ownership on himself. Will line up from 30 metres out on not much of an angle for a right foot, it has to be said. But a big kick as we approach half-time here to restore a 29-point lead. Jackson Merritt. He's been in goal-kicking form this season. Has 10 for the year. Been playing across half forward all year. Kicks on its way. And he's missed to the near side. And maybe should have gave it to the hot form of Bryce McDougall. Was streaming for it in the pocket. The coach wanted to take it under himself. So we'll have Short go short in the pocket. Pardon the pun. Finds his target. EastPoint 9 goals, 660 lead. Redan 5-5, 35. Long kick towards the outer sides, off hands. Dodd whizzes around to his trusty left, off to a teammate as they go inside 50. George had his name written all over that one. Marks on his chest. The captain takes it well deep in defence. We approach half time, 29 minutes gone. Spearing ball towards the outside was dropped by Lamb. Atchison couldn't keep it in, and we'll get a ball in now on the defensive side of centre wing in front of the Redan coaches box. Trail by 25 points. And we're back underway. Van Meel wins it down. Straight to Redan, though. Off to George. On his non-preferred side. Goes towards centre half forward. Nice hands mark taken by Jonty Fall. Plays on from outside 50. It's a wobbler. And it's all the way. Great mark by the debutant. The kick wasn't perfect, but it went between the big sticks, and that's all you got to do, Jonty. He kicks his second, and Redan get back-to-back goals as we approach half-time here at the City Oval. One of the plays of the day. The captain, George, and his non-preferred went to true centre half forward. It was a big one-on-one. And the youngster, good hands, spun around, wobbled it long and wobbled it strong. 6'5", 41, trails 9'6", 60. Fall now has 2 on debut at the City Oval. Long quarters expected this afternoon. 35 minutes plus in the opening term, gone 30 here. Hart in the ruck, won it down. Matthews off the square tried to gather. Taylor had an inconspicuous day. Phillips dropped it. Umpire wave play on. Hart with the hand pass off to Matthews. Gave it off to Atchison. Right foot kick towards the other side. Big contest, big one. Fitzgibbons coming through. Wrapped up by Hacker. And we'll get a ball up. The vice captain of the Redan Football Club going nowhere there. Isaac Hacker's been pretty good on the far side this afternoon. They had plenty of it. Van Meel gets it. Right foot snap will go towards centre half forward. Fisted away. Hand pass over top by the Kangas. Opens the door for Johnston. Off to Conlon. Lowers his eyes. Good smother by Atchison. Goal-saving smother. And Farnsworth will get away here towards the broadcast side. Steadies on his preferred left side. Hits the boundary line. That's enough. And we'll get a ball in. EastPoint, of course, kicked 5 goals in a row in this contest. Got it out to 29 points at one point. Redan have kicked the last couple just to get some scoreboard pressure off them, as it's only now 19 points as we approach the half-time siren. 32 minutes gone. Van Meel knocked it down cleverly. Johnston turns on the afterburners. Got caught, but got it away to Dodd. Spins around his left side. Dumps it towards full forward. McDougall's backing back. Couldn't hang on. Lamb will come away with it on his non-preferred side. It's a wobbly kick to a teammate, Wirtz, and Redan have a problem. They're just queuing up to try to steal this one, EastPoint. They just can't quite get their hands on it. Lamb goes to make amends, holds it in. Didn't let this one slip out. And the siren does sound to signal half-time here after a nervy moment from the Redan defence to finish here. Half-time read, 6 goals, 5-41 to 9 goals, 6-60. For the visitors, 3 goals apiece to Bryson McDougall and Jack Jeffries, with singles to Cammy Dodd and Brad Whitaker. Whilst for Redan, it's a couple to the debutant in Jonty Fall. He's shown plenty of promise. That late goal there shows that he is definitely one for the future. And McLean has a couple as well, with singles to Bond and Lawson for the home side. So a quick summation of things here. It's been real end-to-end stuff. EastPoint were able to put their foot on the gas and kick away, but Redan didn't go away out of the contest. They stuck to their process, their slingshot style, coming to the forefront with that late goal to close things out. We'll take about a 10-minute break. Be back for a fascinating second term in round 12 action, in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League, live from the City Oval.
Push buttons to park magically. The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
Welcome back to the City Oval for round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Just a little score update. We had a correction at halftime, 9-5-59. EastPoint lead Redan 6-5-41. Of course, no electronic scoreboard working this afternoon at the City Oval. Keep all our skies in check. But it is an 18-point halftime margin the way of the visitors, with Bryson McDougall and Jack Jeffries leading the way with 3 goals apiece. Singles to Whittaker, Dodd and Canny. Whilst for Redan, it's a couple McLean, a couple to the debutant in Jonty Fall, whilst Lawson and Bond are their other goal kickers this afternoon. It's been an enthralling contest, really end-to-end stuff. At 1 point, EastPoint slammed home 5 goals, got it out to 29 points, a game-high margin before Redan were able to get a couple late goals just to keep themselves in the contest here. And they'll be looking for a big second half from their star man in Isaac Grant. Yet to hit the scoreboard this afternoon. He leads the competition with 33 goals going into this one. Lockie George has built himself into the game, had a couple important moments. A handball from the ruck contest, which gave Bond the goal, and then, of course, that left foot kick that found Jonty Fall. So he's not going to go away from the contest. He's not going to shy away from it from here. Right of screen is traditionally the scoring end here at the City Oval. Redan looking to kick that way in this term. Need a fast start as we start the second half here live at the City Oval between EastPoint and Redan. One down by Dunstan. George trying to knock it to his own advantage. Geordie Johnston got off to the running man in Lovick. At full velocity, drills it towards full forward. Big fist over the top there by Lamb. Brought it to ground. Big contest to be won between Hart and Canny. It's locked up inside forward 50. 1 goal to Liam Canny thus far. Of course, kicked 5 the last time these two sides met. A couple of goal-of-the-year contenders amongst that. Geordie Johnston will get the clearance. Right foot snap will go towards a dangerous area. Foot race on in earnest between Whittaker and Lamb. Whittaker leads the race and got it at the back to Charleston. Takes one bounce from 60. Hits the hot spot in the pocket. Words with a big fist, brought it to ground. Ball spills free and goes out into the right foot pocket out of bounds, and we'll get a ball in about 30 from goal. EastPoint have kicked the first goals in each term thus far, both coming through Bryson McDougall. He'll be around this contest as well as the obvious target, although Van Meel, right foot snap, will go right to the goal line, fisted away by Short from Robinson. Still inside for EastPoint. Johnston got it off. Molan missed it. Grant trying to come away with it. Ricocheted back towards him. About 25 metres out from goal. Ball still alive, says the umpire. Lets it roll on. Pile driving tackle. Brings it free. McDougall. He can't do it again, can he? Was it touched? Yes, it was. It's almost the third time Bryce McDougall kick-started things with a goal, but it was touched on the line by Jacob Short. 19 points the margin. Short will come down the middle. Looking for the tall man in Dunstan. Reading your best though was Johnston. He'll go inside 50, looking for Whittaker. Big fist, hands in the back. Atchison from the side had it. And I don't think Fitzgibbons had to do it. 2 hands firmly into the back of the assistant coach, and Brad Whittaker will line up pretty much directly in front from 30 metres out. Been their leading goal kicker thus far in season 2023 as the assistant coach. And to kickstart things here in the third term, Whittaker comes in, keeps it low, and kicks it strong. He's second of the afternoon and restores the 25-point lead here live at the City Oval. Couple minutes in to the third term. It's EastPoint, 10 goals, 6-66, leading Redan, 6 goals, 5-41. Polar opposite to the start that Gary Learmonth would have asked from his charges in the box. EastPoint, or the ascendancy to start this term. A goal capped off from their assistant coach in Brad Whittaker. Back underway here. One down, George, off there to Grant. Right foot kicks it, looking to his helmet friend in Jess. He marks. Taking inside centre wing on the broadcast side. Kai Jess will play on. pulls the kick at the last moment, looking for a lead, slipping through the fingertips of Gangley. Does clear with the fence with the scrubby kick to Van Meel. Hand pass left a bit to be desired. Slapped on there nicely towards Grant. Turns on the afterburners. Got it back towards Fitzgibbons in the pocket. Has to sit up and wait. Tried to pull the kick. Great smother there by Lovic. Ball still alive inside the right forward pocket for Redan. Around the body, the kick will come across the face of goal, although the boundary umpire on the spot says the ball went out of play. We'll bring it back. We'll throw it in 30 metres out from goal. Lovic with a great smother from the Fitzgibbons kick. Redan trying to get the ball back in the corridor at all costs there, couldn't quite do so. And watch Lockie George in the ruck. He's already set one goal taken out of the air. He'll look to do the same. I guess the Tom Hawkins method, if you're looking for a comparison in the AFL. Use that bigger frame again, takes it out of the air, looks for his mate in Bond. He goes out the back towards Farnsworth. Was looking for Kai Jess, but picked his pocket there with Tillman. Goes down the middle of the city over the bouncing ball. Wirtz will come out towards Lamb. Overcooked the kick, and they'll favour now Whittaker, who leads the foot race, the last goal kick in this game. Missed Johnston, though. Bad turnover. Opens the door here for Lamb on his non-preferred side. Kick's got to be good coming to the corridor, and it is. Farnsworth will mark. Comes across. Where he has a loose man in Matthews. Will go inside 50, looking for Jess. And a full stretch. He takes the mark on 50. Pops it over the top, looking for Kelson. It was a poor pass. Normally so good by foot is Kai Jess. And he missed his target. And holding the ball is going to be a result. The East Point defender not making a genuine attempt, says the umpire, young Joe Fraser. And will be a chance here for Redan. Looks like it'll be Kelson the line-up. Gives off the hand pass. George is a thumping kick from 55 from a standing start. The captain goes bang, and Redan get the response. Well, it's cliche to say it was a captain's goal, but that's certainly the only way to describe it for Lockie George. From outside 50, he kicks their 7th of the afternoon to make it 7-5-47 to 10-6-66. As the goal-from-goal trend continues here at the City Oval. They need to string a few together, and that's the perfect way to kickstart things. 19 points to margin here, live at the City Oval. Round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. We're back underway. One down by Van Meel. Grant starting to lift in this term. Kicks a scrubby one out towards the broadcast side. Again, looking for his helmet mate and Jess. He was stripped over by Tillman. Well played by him. Taylor, left foot kick will gain territory more than anything. Bouncing ball. Oh, clever little back heel attempt there by Merritt, but Farnsworth will come away with it. Risky kick into the corridor. George, well, he was calling for it, but the young fella on debut said, I want it. Jonty Fall takes the mark. Looks towards half forward, kicks in the Grant direction, at full stretch marks. Isaac Grant, oh, clever pass. And palms it off there to Lawson. We thought he might have unloaded from 50, but he saw something out of his peripheral vision in Lawson. Lowered the eyes, short pass, and mark is taken. And Harry Lawson, for back-to-back goals, much needed in the contest. Distance won't be a problem. He's a thumping kick of the Sharon. Will line up from 45 on a 45-degree angle, the number 10. Has one already for the afternoon. Lawson. Right behind the kick here in the commentary position in the old grandstand at the City Oval. Starts his approach. I'll let the crowd do the work for me. It was an awful strike and didn't make the distance. Boyer almost marked it on his chest. And a minor score as a result. Rushed through via East Point. Lovic wants to go quickly. Runs his full measure and goes long to the other side. High ball. Umpires picked out a block and a free kick's going to go the way of East Point. So the Kangas can reassess. Inboard pass is the nice one. Finds Johnston. Can go to centre half back to Walsh if you can spot him. Looks further afield and more direct, does the captain. It's a nice pass. Might get the running hands pass back, does Matty Johnson? Yes, he does. And inside 50, looking for Merritt. Superb. The captain with the 1-2 and finds his coach inside forward 50. So Jackson Merritt for the response and to roll, probably break the heart of a bit of a Redan comeback here. Lawson had the chance at one end. From this exact position, struck it horribly. Merritt for the instant response, really. Comes in, leans on it. Beautiful kick. No problem at all from the ex-AFL champion. It's a goal. It's EastPoint's 11th of the afternoon. They moved to 11-6-72 to 7 goals, 6-48 here. Live in round 12 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. So the coach becomes the 6th individual goal kicker this afternoon for the EastPoint Football Club and gets it back out to the 24-point lead. Of course, must-win clash for the Kangas this afternoon, and they're rising to the challenge. Dunstan won it down. George out of mid-air, got it back towards Dunstan. Hand pass was a bit skew-if in the Grant direction. Opens the door for Canny. Goes inside, forward 50 with the long kick. A bouncing ball will favour Whittaker, tucked up in the pocket. Lamb went off the deck, got it towards his teammate Short. Boundary line is the friend. Off the deck went the Kangas, off hands of Jared Jean Polo, who was the goalkeeper in the line with a nice save. We'll see plenty of them with, of course, the Women's World Cup coming up this week. Nice save on the goal line there by Jean Polo. Slipped to the hands of Jess. Had a couple nervy moments in this term. Now Merritt, the last goal kick in this game, towards full forward. A nice pass is fisted away there by Short. Charleston put the stiff arm out, got it back to Molan. He was dispossessed. Ball's inside 50 for the EastPoint Football Club, and with their 25-point lead, they'll happily have a ball up. 11 goals, 7-73, lead 7-6-48. Van Meel wins it down. Johnston held without it. He'll get the free kick. Right on 50. His foot skills today has been excellent. It's been the one kick in his armour has been set shot goal kicking. If he rectifies that from outside 50, it just might be EastPoint's day. He unloads a bomb of his own, but it's offline. A minor score. 11-8-74. Door left slightly ajar for Redan, but they've got to get their skates on here. They can't leave it too late. Kicking to the right of screen. They need to get a couple of goals here as we're midway through the third term. 11 minutes gone to be precise. Short comes broadcast side. High kick. Lamb best position from the side. Got the... No, umpires picked out that block. Q went to ground. George can't believe it. As Redan were coming away with it, Sammy Q will have it. The attacking side of centre wing. Q will set it up. Was dumped as he kicked. Downfield as a result. Gunzer come through. Q, well, show his experience. Knew the contact was going to come. Made it all work. Downfield free kick and a shot on goal for Brad Whittaker will be coming to make it a game-high 32-point margin. Whittaker's kicked a couple. Will join McDougall and Jeffries as the highest goal kick on the ground with 3 if he can convert. And Whittaker does. EastPoint, through a bit of fortune and poor discipline play from Gunnessa, make it 32 points the margin here, live at the City Oval. Back when these sides met in round 6 earlier this year, it was the upset from Redan. It seems like the upset from EastPoint in return is on the cards this afternoon at the City Oval. 32 points is the margin midway through the third term. Van Meel fisted it forward. George couldn't come away with it. Canny missed it. Hart with the hand pass. Off there to a teammate as they come towards the broadcast side. Mark should be taken there by Jess. Showed the footy to Q as well. And then went towards half forward with the kick. It was a nice pass. Should sit up for fall. Off to Fitzgibbons. Lowers the eyes. Grant on the lead. Couldn't hang on. Did he get shoved in the back as well? Umpire says no. We'll get a ball in. Couldn't hang on. Good Isaac Grant. He's clunked everything in season 2023 when he's gone forward. This time couldn't do it. Now George has been taking these out of the air at will. This time knocks it down. Bond steps around a whoopie tackler. Hand pass off. Guns is a left footer, so has to go back to Fitzgibbons. Tries a little wobbly kick towards the hot spot. Mullen in the hole. Got a dribbling ball. Did he dispossess Grant without the footy? Umpire says no. Johnston will clear the outside of the boot. Gain territory with that kick. Hart just has to knock it out of play and we'll get a ball in. Taking side of centre wing on the broadcast side. Played 14 minutes in the third term. Redan trail. And the home side know that they need to get things going in a hurry here. Van Meel works his way to the front. Bond went without it. Johnston, clever little kick straight to the line. Umpires have not called these all day, but that one with insufficient intent was. We've seen a couple not paid. Umpire deeming that one too deliberate in the act. Redan with a free kick. Merritt, though, read it like a book. Come across and knocked it out of play. So maybe a bit of justice in the eyes from the East Point fans here this afternoon after the Johnston kick was paid for insufficient attempt to keep the football in the field of play. The pass over the top from Fitzgibbons was cut off by the coach in Merritt. Bounce throw will fall a bit short. Van Meel knocked it down towards a teammate. They go towards centre forward, backing back. Nice mark taken from the former coach and Jarrett Giampolo. So the veteran looks across the City Oval and should find Hart at full stretch. He marks. Now called to go, stepped up his line, has to use his non-preferred sign. The kick's okay in the words direction. At full stretch, couldn't hang on. Johnston comes across and hit the contest hard. Did the captain of East Point and got the ball out of play. We're going to ball in, virtually opposite from our broadcast position on true centre wing on the outer side. 12 goals, 880 leads, 7 goals, 648. And we're back underway. Van Meel, who's been fantastic in the ruck. Jess trying to knock his own advantage, couldn't come away with it. Big spin tackle on Gunnister is applied there by East Point. They'll lock things up. Been a great response from the Kangas, who were deplorable last week against Sunbury. They were smashed in all facets of the contest, have brought their A game here this afternoon against Redan. Knocked on by the Lions. Gunnister will go inside, forward 50. Boy hasn't really had much of a sniff. Waiting down this time, gets it. With the handball off. Dribbling kicker was nice. And a third goal on debut for Jonty Fall. We won't see much more at this level, I would imagine. He's had a superb debut coming from, of course, the Coates Talent League, with them, the Rebels having a bye, well, the league having a bye per se. Kicks 3 goals on debut and keeps Redan in the contest. They're 8 goals, 654, trailing 12 goals, 880. A little bit of precipitation has greeted us here as we've ticked over towards 17 minutes in the third term. Just tells Redan even more they need to get their skates on. Jess been injected the midfield to get a bit of pace in the contest. Opposite foot kick was okay because it found Fitzgibbons. He marks. Jess breaks for him at half forward, goes longer towards McLean. Got rid of his opponent nicely. Trying to keep that in was Lawson, which was clever. Gangley goes inside, coughed it off to McLean. Now an opportunity for Gunnis. He just got to try to get it to Jess. He was wheeling around to his natural left side, but couldn't quite do so. And East Point maybe had a case for holding the ball inside the defensive 50. Umpire says no, and we'll get the ball up. Watch Guy Jess get on the move here as well. George in the ruck. Tried to take it out of the air, couldn't do so. Mullen in there for East Point is the man forced to tackle. And the umpire's going to say you dived on it and holding the ball against Redan, against Lawson, and will go the way of Alex Mullen. So inside defensive 50. Initial thought was to switch. Decides to do the sensible thing and go down the line. Johnston! Lovely mark. Fourth in the line. We know he's got hops, and we know he's got arguably the best hands in the competition. Defensive side, centre wing takes a nice grab. Goes down the line. Merritt, well, his two direct opponents just fell over each other, and he was able to take the mark on his chest. Didn't go initially as quick as he would have liked. Now hits the full forward. Whittaker couldn't mark. Atchison getting back as the rain's getting heavier here at the City Oval. He dumps it down the line. Fitzgibbons at the back. Brings it to ground. Quick snap there by Taylor. Will fall into the left foot pocket. No, it won't. So we'll get a bit too much carry with the snap and went out in the full. So we'll get Giampolo to bring it back in the field of play. Played 19 minutes in the third term. Short ball will find Paddy Fitzgibbon. Well, across his defensive goal back to Giampolo. And then he'll be the running receiving hand pass in deep in the fence. So the switch will be complete now to Jess. On his preferred side, can continue on and use that stand rule to his full effect. Dumps a long one towards his great mate there in full, who's had great hands all afternoon. And it was knocked out of his hands after he went to go. It will be a 50-metre penalty. It will give Jonty Fall a chance for goal number 4 on debut from 35 for 2 in a row from Jonty. Will keep Redan in this contest. Be lucky enough to be calling this league for about 10 seasons now, and I don't know if I can remember such an impressive debut. You can see why the talent scouts have him in higher levels. He's kicked 3 already, shown great hands, great length. He's a booming kick, and now has 4 goals on debut. Well done, Jonty. Well done, Redan. 9 goals, 660, trails 12-8-80. As we tick at a time on the third term, it's game on. It's been a high, exciting affair this afternoon at the City Oval. Plenty of key highlights to talk about, but just a little moment again for Jonty Fall. Debut for the Redan Football Club. 4 goals this afternoon, the number 17. So much confidence been shown in the kids all season by Gary Learmonth. You look at the likes, of course, obviously Fall today, but you've got Gunnarsay, you've got obviously, you've got Lawson. You've got all these kids that are still eligible for the 19s, like Boyer as well. They get big roles at senior level here, and they perform. And they won't be at this level much longer. Kai Jess being injected in midfield this term. He stepped up as their side was down by 5 goals. Just another name. As Van Meulen with a big slap. Off the deck goes Canny. Hucker leads the foot race. Try to knock to his own advantage. Ricocheted back off him towards Molden. George came through hard. Didn't get in the back of his direct opponent there at Dodd. Now Jess tried to scrub the hand pass. Tap of the shoulder was clever. Johnston tries it over the line, and in another sport would have scored some points, but in this one we'll get a ball in. Defensive side of centre wing for the Redan Football Club. They trail by 20 points. Would love to string a couple more before the three-quarter time siren. Van Meulen's been superb, outsized, Dodge stripped of it. Umpire said it was knocked out in the tackle. Jess again involved. Fitzgibbons isn't able to keep this one in. And we'll get a ball in on true centre wing on the broadcast side. A cold but cracking afternoon of football here at the City Oval. One down there by Dunstan. Dodd off the deck. Gets territory more than anything. Merritt stripped of it. Umpire allowing a bit of lad shooters, a bit of rainstorms make the surface and the ball a little bit more greasy. And another ball up is the result. We've had long quarters all afternoon. 35 minutes in the first, 32 in the second. We would expect the same here in the third. Dunstan wins it down. Johnston has been super. Left foot kick will go towards half forward. McDougall will mark on his chest. Goes inboard, saw a loose man, Jeffries will mark. And it's been the story of the day. Redan started to bring something into the contest. EastPoint through their big guns. Johnston, McDougall, and McDougall on cue. Well, he's seen 4 goals at one end, wants to get back on the score sheet. Misfire across the face, and off hands goes through for a minus score. 21 points now the margin. 12-9-81 will lead 9-6-60. Hand pass to Lamb was overcooked there by Farnsworth. And we'll get a ball in. Of course, they were sort of the two breakout performers last time these two sides met. Across halfback, Lamb was terrific from changing ends, and Farnsworth really announced himself as one of the halfbacks of the future of this competition. Boundary throw and fell in short. Dunstan was forced to hack it out midair, and we'll get a rethrow. Maybe some appeals from the East Point fans and players on the ground for insufficient attempt, but the umpire saying that was fine. Back underway, this is a better one for the Ruck to compete. Johnston couldn't quite get it this time. Gets a second chance though. Dumps it on the boot towards the hot spot. McDougall backing back, couldn't take the mark. Still alive in the left forward pocket. Somehow they keep it alive to East Point. And we'll get a ball up. We're very close to the goal line. And the Redan Rackwood's got to be careful. He can't just fist this one through for a minor score as the rain's starting to fall a little bit heavier. Dunstan knocks it down. And we'll get another ball up deep in the goal square. Happy spot to be if you're an East Point fan. You lead by 21 points. 24 and a half gone in the third term. Rain falling here at the City Oval will favour the side in front. One down by Dunstan again. Redan happy to see it over the line. That's what they eventually do. Make it a 22-point ball game. We'll get in the hands of Jacob Short once again. Interesting to see how brave he is at this point in the game with the kick out. A goal either way as we approach three-quarter time is massive. Looks to go long towards the outer side. Tough one to deal with as the ball bounces on the greasy conditions. There's a real hazy mist. Covers the City Oval, making it hard for everyone to sort of get a gaze on the contest. As East Point went forward into the right forward pocket and it went out of bounds. Ball incoming at the 25-minute mark. Lights are on. A lot of cars have got their lights on too to help us. As it's tough conditions to see at the City Oval. Big fist forward there by East Point. Hand pass inside, was looking for Molan. He was confronted immediately in the tackle. Opportunity there for East Point. Coming out the hands. Fisted by Hart. Short. Left foot kick will clear defence for the moment. It's going to come straight back. East Point have the numbers. Hand pass was partially smothered. In the hands now of Lawson. And Redan, coming out the front of the contest. Phillips towards half forward, kicks a good one. Mark is taken, a vacant 50 to aim at. A long ball in the McLean direction. One-on-one with Slater. McLean read it best off the boot. Knew where the drop zone was. And they go end-to-end to Redan. Lockie McLean will line up. He's a dead-eye dick. Mark this one down for his third. I'll call it early. We've played 26 and a half minutes. McLean's kicked two from this exact distance on this exact angle. Averages 11 disposals a game. Always kicks a couple of goals. And for his third of the afternoon, with his traditional trotting on goal, has missed to the near side. A big miss in the spectrum of the game. 9-7, 61 trails, 12-10, 82. After I marked it down and gave him the big wrap up in the commentary box, he's let me down with a minor score. Now, Lovick's been brave with the kickouts all afternoon. Decides to go into the pocket where he has Q by himself. Played on immediately with Sammy Q, so he just dumps this one down the line. Big pack of players, ball comes to down. Taylor comes out of the contest. Right foot kick will gain territory more than anything. Although Redan with the numbers now give it to Dunstan. Inboard kicks a good one. Gunnisser does mark. Has George Latchley, didn't spot him, gives his teammates a chance to get back inside 50. A piercing ball towards full forward, almost marked by Lawson. Couldn't hang on. Still alive. Bond wrapped up in a gang tackle. And we'll get a ball up. Of course, Lawson missed one early in this term and almost had a big moment there. Just couldn't hang on in the dying moments of the marking contest. George just fisted forward, left foot kick towards full forward. Slater knocked it away. East Point will happily see this for a minor score, but in the back before it's called for a behind will be a free kick to Johnston. So no score, and Johnston has it deep in the fence. Goes short and finds Conlon. In this tight game, every point will matter. Conlon will go down the line. George forced to spoil. In the end, really didn't touch man or ball. Charleston couldn't hang on it with his fingertips, and we'll get a ball in. A win for East Point won't see them back in the top six necessarily, Redan having the greater percentage. However, it does get them level on points. That's what they're aiming to do as Geordie Johnson knocks it on. Jeffries comes away. Turn on the afterburners. Hot hand pass was for Matt Johnston, who couldn't come away with it. Dodd just ricocheted forward more than anything. Jess, slight fumble with the greasy footy. Might open the door for the Kangas. Who's cleaner? Geordie Johnson always is. Hits the hot spot. High kick will favour McDougall at the back. Couldn't hang on. Goes off the deck. Kicks his fourth. And East Point gets some separation on the scoreboard. The 13th of the afternoon, 13-10-88 to 9-7-61 at the 29-minute mark of the third term. Bryce McDougall now leads all comers on the ground. 4 goals for him. 3 to Brad Whitaker and 3 Jack Jeffries also for East Point. Merritt, Canny and Dodd, the other goal kickers for the Kangas, whilst debutant Jonty Fall has 4 for Redan at the other end. A couple of McLean, but he just missed a big set shot, which would have changed the spectrum of the match. East Point then go up the other end and kick a goal. Back underway here as we approach 30 minutes gone in the third term. Johnston with the clearance will go towards half forward. Canny leads the race, has the safety of the boundary line. Him and Farnsworth's been an intriguing matchup all afternoon. Farnsworth had plenty of it. Canny looked dangerous. Of course, kicked 5 goals last time these two sides met. 27 points your margin, ladies and gentlemen, live here at the City Oval. It's been a bitterly cold, traditional winter's afternoon here at the City Oval, but hot action on the field. Dunstan wins it down. Johnston gets away with it. Off the Hucker. Now Dodd steps around one whoopie tackler. Handballs it towards Van Meal. Tough footy be one. Van Meal hit the turf. Dunstan gets boots the ball. Umpire says he'll pay the mark. Lovic has it. Plays on immediately. Hits the hot spot. High footy for a pack of players to fly at it. Short couldn't mark, although he was stripped of it. Had his arms brought down in the marking contest. Free kick the way of Jacob Short. As Redan cling on. Rain falling once again here at the City Oval. Short will play on and look to go to the outer side. High thumping kick. Be a tough one to mark. Making a good fist of it there was Fraser. Couldn't hang on. Umpire circles and says, give it to me. Oh no, he doesn't. He's picked out a free kick the way of Redan. They come inboard. Johnston forced to spoil this time, and now East Point come away with it. Long footy towards full forward. McDougall's got the sit. Just needs a bounce up for him. It didn't. And the numbers do prevail for Redan, although the kick from Atchison was skew whiff. It's gone out in the full. Hucker has it. Goes laterally. Jess at full stretch got there. Was trying to find the little man in Dodd. And it's fisted out of play. Played 31.5 minutes in the third term. Deep inside forward 50 for the East Point Football Club. They lead by 27 points. 9 goals, 761 leads 13-10-88. Dunstan only as far as Canny, who gets the last kick of the third term. We know he's dangerous. If he had a couple extra seconds, who knows what he would have came up with on that occasion. But the final the three-quarter times siren sounds for the final break of the afternoon. 9-7-61 trails 13-10-88. We'll take our final break and be back for an enthralling final term here at the City Oval. It's round 12 action in McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Currently, it's East Point by 27.
push buttons to park magically.
The McValue Bundle at Macca's. A choice of your favourite burgers, together with fries and drinks for just $26.95. Did we just find something the whole family can agree on?
Welcome back for the final term in the round 12 action here in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Network League, live from the City Oval as the rains really set in at the three-quarter time break. And big kudos to all spectators who have made their way to the City Oval today and stuck it out, because you've been treated to a cracking contest between 6 and 7 in the competition. EastPoint, the 7th place side, leading at three-quarter time by 27 points. Redan will need to pile on 5 goals to win this one. They need the likes of Grant, the likes of George to do it. George kicked one of the goals of the day, but besides that, it's been not at his usual best. Grant unable to hit the scoreboard at all this afternoon. EastPoint, well, with the rain setting in, firm favourites to run out victorious here. They've been led by Bryce McDougall forward with 4 goals. And, of course, the Johnston brothers in the midfield have been super all afternoon as we're ready to go for the final term. It's going to be a real slog, I think, to finish things out here at the City Oval. One down by Van Meel. Jess coughed it up. Off the deck goes Johnston. Goes the second time off the deck. Now Merritt put the stiff arm out. Got boots of ball. Hit the spot. Lamb in the hole, although his teammate Phillips slipped over. Opens the door for Kenny. And that will seal things if it wasn't already done. A costly mistake. Phillips got the wobbles on. Like he had a big night, last night. Fell over, left the ball behind. Kenny kicks his second. And almost in the opening minute of the final term might shut the gate here at the City Oval. Liam Canny kicks goal number 18 of the season. The goal sneak, arguably one of the best small forwards in the competition, if not the best. And, well, doesn't get any easier than that when the Redan defender just slipped over and left the door fully ajar for him to just pop through and the easiest goal you like. All to do here now, the Lions. Dunstan wins it down. George boots the ball. We'll go high to the outside. Umpire will pay the mark. Charleston. He's been good in return. Takes the mark. Averages 16 touches a game when he plays senior footy this year and goes long the outside. Johnston over the top. Big fly. Got the ride and bounced up like a cat. Was dumped as he kicked. He'll be down food. It was marked anyway. Marked it anyway. Johnston got collected late. There'll be a bit of push and shove. We've had it all afternoon. McDougall will line up for number 5 and they've reversed it. Well, Matt Johnston's come in to protect his brother. George will get the benefit of the free kick. McDougall's going to kick his 5th. And George will go wide and find the target. A few unhappy EastPoint faithful in the grandstand with that one. As Atchison goes long down the line. You can probably hear it coming through the effect mics here this afternoon at the City Oval. Fisted out of play. We'll get a ball in pretty much on true centre wing on the outside. Virtually opposite from our broadcast position. This game's had anything. It's had great goals, big marks, a lot of feeling. It's almost had a finals atmosphere to it. 6v7. We've been treated to a spectacle in true winter conditions here in Ballarat. Phillips will go inside, forward 50, hits the spot, dropping the mark in the fence there where it was the Kangas. Was Fraser. Boyer couldn't pounce on the mistake. In the end, it might be just locked up inside the defensive 50 for EastPoint. 3 minutes going in the final term. Canny with the first goal this term to make it a game-high 33-point margin. One down by the Kangas again. Boundary line will be their friend. Might only be 2 or 3 seconds, but they'll happily take that off the clock. 14-10-94 leads 9-7-61. George will do the rack work and look to take it out of the air as per always. Van Meer did well to force him to spoil. Quick kick coming from EastPoint will clear defence. Over top was Molan, couldn't hold on. Umpire said there was a hold and a free kick in the marking contest is going to go the way of EastPoint. Inboard kicks a nice one. Hucker, full stretch, takes the mark. Has Johnston breaking from on the broadcast side. That's where the kick goes. Didn't have the break stride. Run down from behind by the debutant in full. It's still socket inside 50. Not done with yet. Right foot snap around the body from Toolman. Is all the way home. That lady is warming up those vocal cords for sure. Now Toolman's getting on the act from defence. Kicks his first of the day. And EastPoint are going to run away with this one here at the City Oval, you feel. 15-10-100 leads 9-7-61. Jake Tillman's 3rd goal of the season. Becomes the 7th individual goal kicker of the afternoon for the Kangas. A couple to start the final term here as confirmed what we thought was going to be the case. A victory to EastPoint this afternoon at the City Oval. Umpire not closest as paid a hold, and we'll get a free kick the way of Jess. He's looked better since been playing inside in the midfield. Goes towards Lawson, went to ground maybe a little bit too easy for Mind, and Lovick took the mark. Lovick goes short, finds Johnston. Led from the front to Skipper. Dumps a high one out to the broadcast side. Over top was Hucker. Hit the contest hard. The creative Canny on his non-preferred side. It's a wobbly kick, but a good one. Finds Johnston. We go back where we were. Matt Johnston comes towards the broadcast side, looking for Geordie. Oh, well played by Jess. Outside the marking contest. Got the spoil in, knocked out of play. I really like the kid. Blue helmet, number 60 this afternoon. Just got something about him. Flashy on the outside, tough as nails on the inside. And a couple of times has applied some good spoils considering being outsized. Dunstan wins this one down, trying to go at the front towards George. Manufactures a left foot kick down the line. Lawson over the back, forced the spoil. Got the ride, if you don't mind. Hucker left it behind. Kelson over the shoulder. That was clever. Might open the door for Fitzgibbons. Will be on his non-preferred side. Dribbles it inside 50. Good pressure applied by Lovic. East Point come away with it. Hucker measured Toolman. Well played, Kangas. Well played by the vice-captain in Lovic. That has to be stated. Short ball. Taylor. He's had a couple of fumbles. Normally so clean, but on the second bye, the cherry held that one. Just to require 15 finds the big fella and Whittaker. Much better performance from him this afternoon, has to be said. I know the delivery wasn't there last week, but he was practically unsighted against Sunbury. Been a presence today. Coming through here is Phillips. Well played there by the big fella Van Meel. Could have initially dumped Declan Phillips, but he just placed him on the turf. Take half forward flank, region for East Point. Dunstan fisted forward. Taylor just knocks it to the line, and we'll get an hour boundary throw in. Got a 39-point margin, a game high 39-point margin. Rain's stopped for the moment. 7.5 going in the final term. We'll get back underway. Dunstan wins this one. Taylor, well, given a long time to get rid of it. Didn't have Pryor. Kenny somehow got boots the ball. Words backing back, couldn't mark. Dodds kicks smothered. Ricochets back towards Toolman. Umpire lets it go. Kelson fumbles. Short coming through. Did he collect Johnston high? Umpire says no. A clearing kick will go to a vacant centre wing position. Q goes off the deck. Gains territory. Jeffries, well, won't get there. The line will win out. And again, might have been a question for that insufficient attempt rule. In the AFL, that might have been called. We've seen one paid against Geordie Johnston this afternoon, but they've been pretty consistent besides that and letting them go all afternoon, as you said. Done a good job in green this afternoon, the umpires. It's been a game played at frenetic pace as another free kick's going to be picked out. It's going to go the way of the ruckman. It's going to go the way of Dunstan. 39 points they trail by. Want to go wide to the outside, and it's a nice pass. Phillips chips it over the top. Lovic got in the way. Jess with the follow-ups, brought to ground in the tackle. And on pretty much true centre wing, virtually opposite from our broadcast position, we'll get a ball up. Umpire gets us going again with the restart. Dunstan wins it down. Taken away by East Point towards half forward. Giampolo, just as casual as you like, fumbled it over the line. Professionally done. And another restart will be the result. 9 minutes gone in this final term. It's academic from here. East Point will be victorious. They will level up to the same points as the Redan Football Club, who are in 6th place. And percentage will become a big factor at the season's end, as we're now inside 50. Another ball up as a result. Next week, well, big games for both sides. North Ballarat awaits Redan here at the City Oval, whilst East Point make the trip up to Melton. So tough opponents for both sides next week. Hopefully it'll be just as good as this game this afternoon. Inside 50, East go, short, unable to mark. Hartland without it. Appeals for free kicks not going the way of East Point on this occasion. We'll get a ball up 35 out directly in front of their goal. Back underway. Big fist by Van Meel. I think he's been terrific today. Knocks it towards full forward. Short. Sees it towards the boundary line. George kept it in. Handball off to Jess. Turns on the afterburners. Left foot kick goes long to the outside. Lawson was dumped. Will we get the free kick? Big shove in the back. Uses the stand rule to his advantage and goes quickly. Wobbly kick forwards. Cut off though. Didn't strike it the cleanest. Not for the first time today, unfortunately for Harry. And Q takes the mark. Comes enough back. Gangley comes inboard. Nice pass. Finds Johnston. Short ball's a good one to Hucker. Has Geordie Johnston as the overlap. Should mark on his chest. Doesn't go initially. Now does and gets away from McLean. Waited for the contact. Hits the top of the square. On the turf, it's George. He dumps it out to the outer side. Foot race will be on in earnest. The big fella and Van Meel leads the race. Well, he's stripped of it. Gone. Holding the ball. Free kick go the way of Redan. We're setting the record with the interview at the bar, Liam Kenny. And he said the most underrated player in the side is Joel Van Meel. Despite that moment, I think he's been absolutely terrific today and lived up to that billing. Undersized in the ruck, but it's just a real goer. As Redan try to rush this forward on the half-forward line. Ball remarkably stays in. Left foot kick from Kelson will go towards half-forward. Mark will be taken there by Bond. Early lead was ignored. Goes towards Grant, almost with the one hand. Couldn't hold on with the mark. EastPoint will come away with it. Just hasn't been his day. One of this season's Henderson medalist favourites. Of course, was leading the competition goal kicking, the Tony Lockett medal going into this one. George goes towards full forward. Maybe a second chance for Grant. Out the back it goes, big spoil. McLean will be wrong-sided. Oh, he tried to go off the deck and missed everything. That was awful. And EastPoint survive. They'll come away with it through Johnston. Handball over the top and a nice clearing kick there from Fraser. Whitaker couldn't mark. Inside, hand pass was good. Hart dumps it inside 50, but nobody home. Hucker, outside the foot kick. It was a poor one, but Johnston will make it look better than it was. Around the body was clever. Mark taken by Charleston. He goes over to Canny. Well, that kick normally very good by foot, Liam Canny, but missed the coach on this occasion, and Phillips will come away with it. Been quiet, Declan Phillips, this afternoon in the midfield. Goes in the fence and finds Atchison. Would have been the perfect day to have Cooper Craig Peters available this afternoon. Grant Bale also missing. Will Madden, a late withdrawal. As Wirtz comes out the outside. So plenty missing for the home side for people watching today who couldn't get to the city over to see them. You do have some cavalry to come back into this lineup as Lawson goes to the outside with a nice pass. That's better by him. Finds Boyer, being quiet. Goes towards full forward. Grant can't get there. Spills at the back. Foot race on. George will get there first. Oh. And he got it. He did get boots the ball. Off the net goes George. He's second in the afternoon. Just wanted to get confirmation of Lovig, who's desperate with the dive. Got a fingernail to it. I'll let the pictures tell the story for me. It's a goal to Lockie George. He's second of the afternoon. Ten goals, 7, 67, trails 15, 10, 100. Lockie George kicks his second at the 13.5-minute mark. And, well, they need plenty more of that. There's going to be any chance here of a remarkable comeback. Van Meel fisted down. Johnston stripped over by Bond. Van Meel with the follow-up was good. Charleston couldn't quite gather. Hand pass cut off, and Van Meel goes one more time. Why not? Just spikes it towards half forward. Taylor from 50 towards full forward. Almost the mark taken by Whitaker sliding in. Appeals for maybe holding the ball, not going to go the way of EastPoint. Tucked in the left forward pocket, about 25 out from goal. We'll get a ball up. Back on the way, inside 50 for the Kangas. Wirtz tackling and EastPoint going nowhere. I'll be happy just to have every second tick off the clock from here. Closer and closer they're getting to a well-deserved victory this afternoon. Dodd had a fresh airy. Ball still alive though in a dangerous spot. Redan got to be careful. Hand pass out the back to Dunstan, who just tries to dump it out of the fence and misfires out in the full. So an opportunity for Mullen to bring this ball back in the field of play. Tucked up against the boundary line, about 45 metres from goal or so. Imagining the centering kick. Decides to go himself for the goal and has missed near side. So Mullen didn't do probably the team option and Set it top the square, went for glory, missed it in the side. George will do the kicking duties, and this is going long down the middle. As long as he can, short's the target, normally the kicker inner. Couldn't take the mark, well played there by Robinson. Gunnison over the top. Oh, smashed. Off the deck goes Phillips. They got 2-on-1 ahead of the footy. Kelson's that extra. Handballs to his own advantage. The young man Fraser trying to hold him up. Kelson goes again. Grant coming through. Shrugged one tackle and coughed up the hand pass. Walsh let it go. Oh, flying over top was there was Fraser. And we'll get a ball up. Friendly fire was pretty much tackled by his own man, really. No Paddy Hanford. No. Well, free kick's going to go away Isaac to McLean from this, sorry. High contact. So a bit of undisciplined play. There's been plenty of feeling. Or is there not? Now, gave the footy, pointed to McLean. Thought we were going to get a shot on goal. I think we still are. Just umpire being very pedantic to, I guess, clear the space. And finally, the ball will end up in McLean's hands, I imagine, for a shot on goal, was what saw the umpire signal for. I was going to say, for a guy like Joe Fraser in defence whilst over second, no Hanford, he's out for the rest of the season. Dislocated his shoulder a couple of weeks ago. Liam Howard got injured last week. They've been sort of young kids holding the end of the fence. Fraser's had an opportunity now to cement his place. So McLean for his third, 45-degree angle, 30-metre kick. Right behind it here. Comes in for two in a row, and when he's missing them, you know it's not your day. A minus score, 10 goals, 8, 68, trails 15, 11, 101. EastPoint through Lovick will look towards the broadcast sign. A high kick will be in the Johnston direction. Atchison trying to get there, reached over the top. Merritt, clever slap towards Charleston. Runs the tightrope of the boundary line. Ball down the line, dribbles just out of bounds, and we'll get a ball in the attacking side, centre wing here on the broadcast side. 18 minutes gone, final term. Here, round 12 action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Upset firmly on the cards. EastPoint refound some form after a really disappointing performance last week against Sunbury. Taylor dumps it inside forward 50 one more time. A bouncing ball towards the full forward position, and Robinson hasn't had much of it and gets a rare shot on goal for his second behind of the afternoon. Almost played sort of at times the defensive forward role on the likes of Short, who's been such a good rebound defender in years gone by for Redan. Goes quickly and goes down the middle to Rory Gunnison. Plays on a full inside defensive 50 and tries to go through the corridor, of course. One up by the debutant in full. Got the handball off to Matthews towards Grant. His opponent went early. He weighted down. Off the deck. Near side. Isaac Grant with another behind. Just not his day. EastPoint go quickly. Short ball will find Johnston deep in the fence. So we approach time on in the final term. He'll go long, the captain, towards the other side. Hart got a fingertip in there to knock that out of play, and also get a ball in. 10 goals, 9, 69, trails 15, 12, 102. Couple early goals in this final term to Canny and Jake Toolman. Put the game beyond doubt, and as it's just sort of fizzed out in the final term here. Jess, high ball, will be tough to mark. Inside 50. Fisted out by EastPoint. Taylor on his non-preferred left side. Merritt, volleyball style, knocked it back towards a teammate. Handball on Hope. Should have been cut off there by Redan and by Boyer. Had a fumble. Might open the door for here for EastPoint. Big tackle by George coming through. Run down, and we'll get a ball up. About 150 metres away out from us. Virtually opposite across the ground on the centre wing position. In between the EastPoint coach's box and the Redan coach's box. We're back underway. One down by Hart. Quick snap out of the contest there by EastPoint. Lamb just shinned it more than anything towards the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in. As mentioned, next week, of course, North Ballarat awaits the Redan Football Club, whilst the visitors travel up the highway. Looking forward to see them in action next week against Melton. Should be a cracking contest, especially if this EastPoint team comes to the party. Gianpaolo used the body well and legally said the umpire. Of course, that's a grand final rematch from 2018 there at McPherson Park. Gianpaolo's kicks towards the other side. Nice mark taken there by the debutant in full. Shown great mitts, shown a booming kick, shows it again towards full forward. Can't do no wrong today on debut, finds the chest of Fitzgibbons. I think he just tried to kick that as long as he could, as hard as he could. Fitzgibbons marks, waltzes around to his non-preferred left side and missed. Did the right thing, did Paddy Fitz. Knew he had to go quickly. Went to go on his non-preferred side and just didn't hit the Sharon as nicely as he would have liked. A minor score as a result. The ever-reliable Cam Lovig will bring it in. Gets it 20 times a game in season 2023. Helps he takes a lot of the kickouts, but he's been super as well. As Walsh flies high, couldn't mark. Farnsworth, who was lively early, would dump this inside 50. Over the shoulder or a hold. Depends which way you pick it. Free kick the way of Johnston. Inside defensive 50. So the captain would have had it close to 30 times this afternoon. Led from the front. Dumps a long one down the line. Whitaker from 3 deep, couldn't touch it. Dodd boots a ball into a dangerous spot though. Charleston gets there first. Can they slingshot the other side of the contest? Gangley goes back in towards traffic to Lovic. He dumps it on the outside of the boot where he knew he had a loose man in Tillman. He'll get to this eventually. Sits up for him finally. On his non-preferred side, will send it inside forward 50. Almost a mark to McDougall. Bounces up like a cat. And for his fifth, Bryson McDougall has missed. Been very good around the body today, Bryson's kicked 3 or 4 that way. This one couldn't get between the big sticks. 15-13, 103 to 10-10-70. So we wait just for the football to come back over the fence here at the City Oval. We know where it's going from short, probably as long and as straight as he can. The shortest way home down the middle. Plays on. Kicks a bit more broadcast side. George with the intended target. Can't get there. Johnston did well. The two captains in a one-on-one contest. Fitzgibbons collected hard by Johnston. And that's the example he set all afternoon. I mean, he's been in plenty of action. There's been a lot of feeling in the contest, and always is with the Johnston boys. But just his full ferocity and attack on the contest has been a joy to watch here in the old grandstand at the City Oval. In what's been a cold, at times wet, but pretty still afternoon for football action in the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League. Of course, round 12 action here. Back underway. As going no there was Dodd. Hart was, of course, a late inclusion for Madden. We found that out pretty much as the ball went up in the air. Van Meel got it there to Merritt to Johnston. Towards full forward. Fisted away there by Atchison. And we'll get a ball up as the result. Probably 35 out from goal. Key thing from EastPoint, I mean, a lot of talk about where to play Geordie Johnston in season 2023. Spent all his time in the midfield today. They're found goals from the guys that have to do it for them. And if there want to be any chance at premiership success this year, this needs to continue. As Matt Johnston's left foot kicks around the body, deep into the pocket. Off hands. Lamb waits down. Tries to step the would-be tackler. Was brought to the turf. Handball over top. Stolen there by Atchison. Ricochets out of play. We'll get a ball in deep inside 50. But you look at the numbers, and they read well for EastPoint season 2023. Whitaker over 20 goals, 3 today. Kenny's got 18 for the season. Jeffrey's got 16. Merritt's got 11. And McDougall now will have 13. So They're getting a good even spread inside forward 50 from those guys. I think the big change today from Jackson Merritt's been playing McDougall a lot deeper. That's made a difference. Taylor towards the hot spot, missed his target. Fitzgibbon slipped through his fingertips. Hucker went to ground, didn't have it. Umpire waved play on. What will be the result? But just to have that even spread's been very important. And you still have the ace up your sleeve. If you're getting the ball in the middle, you can send Johnston forward and he can win you a game against anybody, as Redan do. Clear defensive 50 here at the 26-minute mark of the final term. Lawson comes out the front of the contest. Got a vacant goal square, and he's a raking kick. It's being wet. It will slide on, but across the face for a minor score. As Lawson was trying to make a late charge for one of the goals of the day, but couldn't get between the big sticks. Short ball down the middle by Q finds Lovic. And the ever-reliable vice-captain goes across, sees defence. EastPoint happy to probably just take possession here and run it out as Johnston dumps it down the line. Merritt marks on his chest. Walks back. The coach will be happy with his side this afternoon. Towards half forward. Almost a mark to Bryson McDougall. Shakes and bake one tackle. Sends this inside forward 50 towards the hot spot. Couldn't take the mark. There was Robinson. Has good mitts. Couldn't hang on this occasion. And to be fair, he's been hitting the scoreboard every week he's played in season 2023 as well as Robinson. So they've got the nucleus of a very good forward line. The difference today compared to last week is just simply weight of possession. Opportunity inside 50. Whittaker fumbled. Hucker, he's been actually fantastic. George to Fitzgibbon. The vice-captain measures a left foot pass. Good one to find Lawson. So much promise again from Harry Lawson. Sells the foot candy, was dragged to ground as he tried to give that one to Wirtz. His kick was smothered. Fall just had mid-air, just dumps a kick forward. Good pick up by Kelson. This will result in a shot and goal. Jess lowers the eyes. Pass was almost perfect to McLean, and Lockie McLean just couldn't quite get there. Should have been resulted in a mark and a shot. They had loose men everywhere. The kick just wasn't good enough, it has to be said. And this 34-point margin stays at the 28-minute mark of the final term. 10-10-70 to 15-14-104. The edge throw and falling a little short. George got rid of the ruckman. Couldn't take it out of the air this time. Johnston towards Matt Johnston. So Geordie to Matt. Lawson knocked off it. And the ball goes out of play. Isaac Hucker, probably a bit of a breakout game for him this afternoon. Gets it 16 times a game, but just his influence, particularly early, really imposed himself on the contest here on the broadcast centre wing. Had a good final term as well. One that sort of modern prototype of a midfielder. Tall, gets you a bit of length, can sit in behind the footy and guard a hole. Can also stretch it the other way. And he just hits the scoreboards, kicked 5 goals thus far in season 2023, so good prospect, long term for EastPoint, the number 13. We're on true centre wing now on the broadcast side. Dunston's had plenty of hit-outs, but to no real advantage. Takes this one out of the air, trying to do something different, which is good to see. Off to Farnsworth, one of the excitement machines that Redan have. Mark taken there by Fitzgibbons. Trying to go quickly, of course. Paddy Fitz just unloads a long one. Gunson's got the sit. Could take the mark over top. McLean waiting down. Foot candy onto his left side. Now onto his right side. Right foot snap. Hits the post. Twisted left. Twisted right. Missed. Behind of the result. And trying to go quickly was Lovic. But umpire hadn't signalled a behind yet. So the ball's going to come back. 10-11-71 Charles. 15-14-104. Played almost 30 minutes in his final term. Short kick was good to Slater, whose kick has gone out in the full in return. To the disagreement of the EastPoint players sliding in and to the disbelief of a few of us. Although I think the central umpire might have come in and... No, he hasn't. He's still going to call it out in the full. So we shot on goal coming up. Tucked up in the right forward pocket. Opportunity for Kelson to thread the needle from the boundary line. They aren't the deepest pockets here at the City Oval. Of course, many will remember when it was almost squarish on this broadcast side back in the day. That's a great finish. And wet conditions late in the game with nothing really to go for. Carlson's threaded the needle of the eye and popped it through for a late goal for the Redan Football Club. Sort of just highlights how good today's been. The 11th goal for Redan, 11-11-77 to 15-14, 104. One of the best games of the season thus far, it has to be said. It's been a real enthralling contest. It's tilted on the ninth edge at times. EastPoint led for the majority of the afternoon and will deserve the 4 points they'll get from winning this contest. But Redan definitely showing glimpses that they get it right. They are a dangerous side. As the quick kick from the contest will go out on bounds. Some maybe ironic appeals for insufficient attempt, but we'll get a boundary throw in centre wing. Redan do have the likes of Ballarat, the Lakers, Melton South to close the season, as well as I believe it's North Ballarat and Sebass. So a friendly draw for them. They win those three, they should play finals in season 2023. Van Meel sends it inside 50. That's Robertson, nice mark. Had a quiet day, kicked a couple points, done a bit of a defensive forward sort of job on short. And if he kicks a goal from limited opportunity, you're tipping his cap because sometimes as a forward it just can't be your day. You've got to play your role. He's done that, kept short quiet. He still generated 3 shots on goal and now has a major in his name. Robson kicks it. And a good one, a good field moment for the EastPoint crowd who have made the trip here to the City Oval. We've now gone almost 33 minutes in the final term. It's been long quarters all afternoon, has to be said. But a great contest here in typical winter conditions as EastPoint look to pile on more goals. Kick towards half forwards, who were mark taken by Molan. Goes around the body. McDougall should slide in a mark. Normally the unselfish type, Bryson. But with 4 goals to his name late in the final term and could be one of the last kicks of the match, happy to have a bit of me time and has deserved it because he's been super. For his 5th, strikes it cleanly. And good way to cap things off for his return to centre half forward. A goal to Bryce McDougall, number 5 for him. EastPoint piling on the goals in the final term here. (17-14, 116) leads 11-11-77. McDougall, the leading goal kicker, with 5 this afternoon. Bond can't gather as the siren does sound here to signal full time at the City Oval. EastPoint victorious. 17 goals, 14, 116, defeating Redan 11-11-77. McDougall led the way with 5 goals, 3 to Jeffries and Whitaker. Canny kicked a couple. Merritt, Dodd, and Robinson and Toolman, all the goal kickers there for the visitors. Whilst Redan, well, Jonty Fall, whilst he's available, was a welcome inclusion with 4 goals on debut up forward. A couple to George and McLean, with singles to Lawson, Bond, and Carlson, who kicked the late one to thread the needle of the eye. But victorious are EastPoint. They level, I guess, things up on the same points now as Redan. Redan will probably hold on by a few percentage points inside the 6. Next week, the Kangas travel up to play the top side in Melton. We'll want to try to replicate 2018 and knock them off. Of course, they beat them in the 2018 grand final. Whilst for the Redan Football Club. They are here against North Ballarat, and that becomes an important game for them to try and knock off someone, I guess, of a high calibre to stay within the top 6. They're showing glimpses of moments. They're, of course, full of kids. The likes of Lawson, the likes of Gunnisser, the likes of Atchison, the likes, of course, of Kai Jess and Jonty Fall all showed a bit, but it wasn't enough. And Isaac Grant held goalless for the first time in season 2023. Was a big difference, of course, in the contest. But 4 points going to go the way of East Point. A well-deserved victory for Jackson Merritt's men. They stay alive in season 2023. Thank you for joining our company here live this afternoon in round 12 action, McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League, live from the City Oval. It was a wonderful afternoon. Until you hear from me next week, it's a bye from now.